Streaming audio at SacktownSports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube. Now, Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Great to be back with you. Great to be back at the Golden One Center. And Drapes, all of a sudden, we got a lot of things to talk about this afternoon. Things are happening. We'll start with the Kings and the Nuggets. No Kevin Huerter tonight.
Yeah.
Keegan Murray, questionable tonight with left ankle soreness. You said you just saw him yesterday.
Yeah. I was out at practice yesterday. Didn't see anything, but this is a late ad. I checked the injury report earlier this morning when I was doing my prep work and didn't see it. And, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, Mike Brown talks at 5:15. Maybe he'll shed some light. But you're already without one of your top six and Kevin Huerter. Now you're out without one of your other three-point threats, if you will, floor spacers, and Keegan Murray. This would be a big blow tonight.
Yeah, we don't have the answers as far as what they're going to do. Maybe they don't have the answers yet either, but obviously you got some questions to answer in terms of, all right, now who's your first man off the bench, which, of course, hinges on who's actually starting. So the Kings may be seriously shorthanded tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough road to sled. But here's the thing, Whitey. And we've talked about this and in sports, next man up, right? Like it's an opportunity maybe for a Keon Ellis or a Jordan McLaughlin or a Dougie McBucket. Somebody like these are NBA players also. And so if I'm a guy and I'm like getting the word, hey man, we might need you tonight. You might be in the starting lineup. I'm like, let's go. I'm getting to the arena early. Mm-hmm. I'm getting up some extra shots. I'm really locked in because tonight could be my night.
I'm not sure this makes the most sense basketball-wise. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But from a fan standpoint, I'd love to see Dougie McBuckets either starting or coming off the bench, 6-man tonight.
Well, remember last time we saw Dougie McBuckets here in this building, the dude went off. And so, when you look at, let's say, no Kevin Huerter, let's say no Keegan Murray, you need a floor spacer. You need somebody to stretch out that defense. And Doug McDermott would seem to be a logical choice. And so we'll see what Mike has to say, obviously, later with the lineups and everything. But, I wouldn't be surprised if my boy Jay Crowder gets some time, too.
Yeah.
3-and-D guy. And
so goes from starting to not playing. And then, okay, you're starting.
Yeah, we need you again. Yeah, exactly. And so and when you think about it, too, Keegan, arguably is our best on-ball defender.
Right.
You might need somebody who's going to check Michael Porter Jr., who's going to check Jamal Murray. So Mike can go a number of different ways with this lineup if Keegan isn't able to go. But, he's one of our better two-way players, talking about Keegan Murray.
Yeah, that probably makes the most sense, doesn't it? Jay Crowder starts, Keon starts, and maybe McDermott's first man off the bench. I don't know. But it's interesting. They're playing a Denver team that they're playing a little better now. They've had some early season issues.
They have, man. And, you look at Jamal Murray's numbers. I was looking at him, his 17.5 points, fewest since his second year in the league. He's not efficient this season, but he has been playing better as of late. Jokic has been doing Jokic things. I mean, he's been carrying the team. And when I look at it, and I know I've, had some thoughts on Denver and, but they still got a capable roster. You know what I mean? You still got Porter Jr. Murray is going to play tonight.
Russ now.
You got Russell Westbrook, who's been fantastic for them. You still got to deal with Aaron Gordon out there. And so this isn't going to be a cakewalk, man. And you wish we had our full complement of players, but that's no excuse. Guys got to step up and be ready tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. So we got a lot to talk about there. We'll talk about that all afternoon as we get ready for the Kings and the Nuggets. And then just a short while ago, I know Alan Stiles shared this on the air. Sacramento State, according to Adam Schefter, is in discussions to hire former Pro Bowl quarterback Mike Vick as its new head football coach.
Wow, Stingers up.
Let's go, Sacramento.
Sac State would build an experienced coaching staff around Vick that is in line with the new frontier of college football. Again, that's according to Adam Schefter.
Sacramento ain't nothing to be worried about.
Initially I saw that and said, okay, I thought, they're talking to him. But the more I read it, they're in discussions to hire him. It sounds like it's a little more advanced than just, hey, what do you think? Sounds like they're making a move and trying to get this thing done.
Yeah. And, it's,
what does it mean?
Right. That's great. I don't know. I don't know if Vic can coach, but I tell you what, I saw what Deion Sanders was able to do at Jackson State, what he was able to do at Colorado. You hire a guy like Mike Vick, one thing you know, all eyes will be on you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? The Stephen A. Smiths of the world will probably be talking about you on First Take. And I think this is a play by Sac State to not only obviously, you think Michael Vick can be a good coach, but also to get you on a bigger platform. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now you're talking, Friday night ESPN games, like really good matchups as well with all eyes. Oh, we want to see how Mike Vick does as a coach. And so I understand this move if it comes to fruition here.
Mike Vick, again, according to Schefter, has already spoken to officials at Norfolk State about that job. What would be your advice there if he came to you? Drapes, I got these two. I don't know. Sac State.
Oh, come on. Now, I will say my brother did go to school at Norfolk State.
Okay.
Down there in Tidewater, Virginia. Like great area. But come on now, it ain't no Sacramento.
That's what I thought.
Now, it ain't no
That's what I
Sac
thought.
5-0, and I would say, come on out here, Mike Vick. This is a city too where you could be king of the castle, you and the Kings, you know what I mean? And so you turn Sac State into, as they progress maybe into Mountain West or Pac-12 or whatever, you lead the charge when it comes to that, man, this city will be off the hook.
Yeah. And it's fascinating the way these things go hand in hand, in that Sac State can tell Mike Vick, look, we got these big plans. But actually it's like, none of that happens if we don't get you or someone like you. So you should come here so we can do this. Right. But if you don't come here, we might not be able to do any of it.
Yeah, and think about it too, man. You get a guy like Michael Vick. I would imagine some donors would be ponying up some good money and want to see the program succeed. Sort of like we saw, obviously Deion at Jackson State, but also Colorado. Remember, Colorado was the dregs of the Pac-12. Like they were horrible, but now sold out stadiums. Crowd, it's just a different vibe, and I think that's what Sac State could be hoping Mike Vick does for them.
Yeah, and I think it was Joe Davidson writing about how Sac State is trying to put together like a $50 million NIL fund.
Yeah.
But again, they have to hire someone like Mike Vick, or else none of that actually comes to fruition. So
you need that
strange times, exciting.
You need a face of the program, right?
Yes.
And that's what Mike Vick would be for Sac State.
Yeah, and I love the phrase Schefter used, the new frontier of college football, because Mike Vick hasn't coached. Like, what's your point, right? In today's college football, it's like that actually is secondary to a lot of other issues.
Right. It's all about NIL money and recruiting. That's it. Then you ask, all right, can you coach X's and O's? And then that's why Schefter said it in the article. They're going to surround Michael Vick, with very capable assistant coaches if he comes here to Sac State as well. It's about fundraising, NIL, and then can you get talent? And I don't know, man. When I look at Michael Vick, his name still carries some weight in football circles. If I'm a young kid, a young recruit, and Michael Vick wants me, that means something out there.
Yeah. Would you go play for Mike Vick or Belichick? I think I might rather play for Mike Vick.
Yeah, maybe. Right. Yeah. I've heard some stories about Belichick, and so no, I agree. I think this is a move that Sac State is hoping moves them into the limelight, step farther in that limelight.
Yeah, Campy has a reaction here in the chat too, and it's the same reaction we all had, right? He says, Vic, coaching experience? It's like, right? It wasn't that
nobody care about that anymore.
I know.
Right, Whitey? It's like,
but it is the first thing, speaking for myself, first thing I went to, and then you realize, like I just said, that's not really what matters now.
Hey, we just saw JJ Redick get the Lakers job. I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's talk about a new frontier. It's a new frontier when it comes to almost everything out here. And and I've always said, it's not about, your experience. It's about when you do get the job, can you actually succeed and do it? And we'll have to wait and see with Michael Vick. But it's interesting. Like, I want to know how this got even on their radar. Like, who was sitting in the offices over there on Sac State's campus and saying, I wonder what Michael Vick's up. Like, where did that come from? So it's well, all right. We'll see if it's a big announcement soon.
Yeah. Speaking of Coach Reddick, I don't know what you think. I'm not sure he's going to be the coach that Jay told us he was going to be. Remember that?
I do remember Jay hyping up JJ Reddick way back in the day when he was hired and they started off 4-0. No, they got some issues, man. JJ Reddick, they're trying to put lipstick on the pig with that roster over there with the Lakers. And we'll see them twice this week, White.
Yeah.
We'll see JJ Reddick Thursday and Saturday here in Sacramento, although the Lakers did get a win last night. I was looking at the standings. If they would have lost last night, we would have been tied with them
really
record-wise in loss column and everything. Like, and these two games upcoming will be huge no matter what. But the Kings right now are tied with the Spurs at 13-13. Spurs have the tiebreaker, but this could be a pivotal week for Sacramento. Yeah. By the end of it, we could be, 8th seed or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And this crucial week is off to a fascinating start. We're back with more on that. And today in NBA trade rumors, we're going to come right back to the Golden One Center Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Nuggets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30. Tip-off at 7. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings is Sacktown Sports 1140.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-881-4242, 800-881-4242.
It's the year-end event right now at Folsom Lake Kia with huge year-end savings, low finance rates, and zero down deals with approved credit. Come see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia and tell them DC sent you. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Get even more savings this holiday season by becoming a Milo's Rewards member. Don't miss new member deals dropping every week, like $15 off a purchase of $50 or more on select Bounty, Charmin, and Puffs paper products. Plus, get free standard shipping with Silver Key status. Just one more way Lowe's is here to help you shop, save, and enjoy the holidays. Join for free today. Milo's Rewards program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change. Exclusions and more terms apply. Visit Lowe's.com/shipping terms for details.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites. This week, score buy one, get one free world-famous pancake combos from IHOP, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on pizza, burgers, tacos, and more all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms, taxes, and fees apply. See app for details.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, the sports circles around town are buzzing today over this afternoon's news that, quoting Adam Schefter, Sacramento State is in discussion to hire former Pro Bowl quarterback Mike Vick as its new head coach, per sources. He goes on to say that Sac State plans to move up to FBS, is building a new stadium, and has more than $50 million in NIL. As Joe Davidson points out on X, the $50 million in NIL is contingent upon Sac State getting into the Pac-12.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're trying to raise their profile. Obviously, the hiring of Mike Vick would go a long ways towards doing that. We also have in the chat the great Tony Ray Harvey, who we'll probably see here at the Golden Center in a bit. He says, Sac State Athletic Director Mark Orr is genuinely creative with coaching hires. Not surprised if this pans out. Orr is a winner. I want winner.
Okay, yeah, right. Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of people take some shots at Michael Vick about his past.
A few jokes in there.
A few jokes. That was what 17 years ago. I think it was that whole situation came to light, and so obviously Sac State, if they do bring Mike Vick in, they did their due diligence and feel like he's the guy to lead them forward.
Yeah, so we just
real quick, speaking of Sac State, damn, Jay, I almost forgot, bro. Me and Jay were out at Sac State on Saturday.
Oh yeah,
watching a basketball game against UC Davis. We're representing Sacktown Sports 1140 up there, trying to get out in the community.
What did Jay not tell you about that gym?
It's a solid, how should I put this? Cozy gym.
Yes.
Cozy.
Yes.
I actually like
intimate.
I actually like the gym in terms of the seating. I just wish it was more of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I wish there was, instead of 10 rows or whatever it is, 100 rows or 50 rows. I like the setup of it, just need a little bit bigger.
Yeah,
bit
so
bigger.
they could end up playing here, right?
Yes,
Their game.
yes. That's Vivek offered up G1C for them, and so they're trying to make some moves, Whitey. Obviously football program, but basketball as well, overall athletics.
Yeah,
trying to do some things.
And you got the Davis news last week, so things are happening.
Right.
Man.
Yes, Sacramento, we standing up, man. I'm telling you, seriously. And then you weren't here Friday, but we had the X Games.
Yes, I saw that you guys were going to talk about.
Yeah. So a lot of good things are coming to the city.
The Denver Nuggets are coming to the city tonight. In fact, they're of course already here. This will be interesting, Drapes. An interesting test, I think, for the Kings defense in this sense. The Nuggets don't shoot a lot of threes,
but they make them.
Yes, they're 30th in attempts, but they're 8th in percentage. And the way the Kings defend, they try to encourage you out of the paint to take more threes. So Denver may take more threes than they normally do. The whole issue is whether the ball's going in or not. We're back to that with the Kings, especially at home. Are they making threes? Are they giving up a lot of threes?
No, that's the key, right? I mean, when you look at the Kings numbers, I don't want to say it boils down to, make shots or miss shots, but when you look at their numbers over the last 5 games, ever since Malik Monk has come into the starting lineup, still 25th in attempts, Whitey, but 5th in percentage in terms of 3-point percentage. So they're not taking a whole lot, but they're making it at a much higher clip. Sort of what Denver does on a night in and night out basis. Don't take a whole lot. And a guy like Michael Porter Jr., man, he can fill it up. He's a guy that, can get you 5 or 6 in a game easily. And so I need to look at the latest injury report because Christian Brown was on this as well, questionable still.
Okay.
So that would be a big loss for them, which would mean more Russell Westbrook, I would imagine.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And in case you missed it, we found out this afternoon Keegan is questionable tonight with left ankle soreness, and Kevin Herter is out. Michael Porter, I think if he didn't have some of the back issues he had, he would have come here. They were really high on drafting him.
That high?
Yes. They were they talked
number 2 high?
Yes.
Wow.
They were very high on him.
Damn.
Yeah.
That would have been nice. I mean, it wouldn't have been Luka, but it still would be, I like Michael Porter Jr. He's, he obviously not a number 1, number 2, but he's a very good number 3 guy on a championship team, and so a dead eye shooter, man.
Yep. Yeah. Getting back to what you said a moment ago, talking about the Kings and how many threes they take. I think what the Kings are is shifting subtly right before our eyes. And a lot of that has to do with DeMar getting worked in to the lineup. I think the Kings, they're not the team that pushes pace the way we think. I think they're 13th in pace. They're a little more methodical, a little more of a half-court team. They don't shoot as many threes. And I think that's a better fit for their talent. And I think that's going on. It's just obviously not something they're talking a lot about.
Yeah. And, I think when you look at the team offensively,
and I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
Right. But I do think they still want to get up and down. I do think they want to push the pace. And I got to look at the numbers, coinciding with this last 5-game stretch. When you look at their numbers, and I got some of them right here, I want to point out to you. They are 6th in passes per game.
They are?
Yes, over the last 5.
Or the last 5, yeah.
Before that, Whitey, they were 15th in the league.
Because I think
so I think what we're seeing the last 5 games is more of who they actually want to be in terms of the 0.5 decision making with the ball, sharing the ball, 304.8 passes per game over the last 5. Before that, 288.1. So they're almost 15, 16 more passes per game. And so they're getting it. I think what we're seeing
figuring
is
some things out.
Yeah. They would rather be the team we're seeing the last 5 in terms of moving the ball, pushing the pace. And I got to look at pace a little closer here in some of these numbers than what we saw the first 20 games of the season.
2 years ago, as TC says, Beam Team 1, they were 4th in the league in passes per game. Last year, they were 2nd. And this year, they're 13th. And as you say, the last few games, they've been trending upward. But it's been a dramatic difference to this point. So maybe they are finding a way to get back to what they were. As far as the pace goes, to my eye, like any good team, they get a chance to run, they're going to run. But if they pull it out, if there's not early offense there, they're a pretty deliberate half-court team.
Yeah, and I would imagine, a lot has to do with, DeMar DeRozan. But also, I'm going to look at the strengths of some of our players. I'm going to look at DeMar DeRozan being a great mid-range shooter. I'm going to look at De'Aaron Fox being a great mid-range shooter. Malik being a great mid-range shooter. And so when I look at this team, I see a team that ideally, yes, they want to knock down the 3. But they aren't as heavily reliant on making 22 or 20. Like, they can beat you with the mid-range too. And you got elite guys that can get to the paint. Fox can get there. We've seen Malik Monk get there, DeMar get there. And so they have 3-level guys. And I just feel like now you're seeing shots fall, and they're going to become even more dangerous out there.
How do you think no Herter and possibly no Keegan tonight might change that whole approach?
I think they'll still do the same thing, like in terms of their style. I think Mike, and this is just a guess here, I think if you look at what Keegan and Kevin bring with their shooting, you're going to need some shooters around some of those guys, Fox and DeMar. You're still going to have Malik out there. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a healthy dose of Doug McDermott tonight. My boy Jay Crowder out there, just to create, some more floor spacing for some of the other guys.
Yeah, at the risk of beating that poor dead horse. We talk so much about the Kings and a lack of depth, but when you do have a couple guys get hurt, which happens because it's the NBA, then the lack of depth really starts to bite you. As you look at issues like tonight, like, all right, well, who's coming off the bench? Who's even starting?
Right. Yeah. And here's the thing. You're talking 2 of your top 6 guys in Keegan and Kevin Herter. A lot of teams would have trouble then.
That's true.
A lot of teams would have trouble then. They're only the top of the top, the Bostons of the world, the OKCs, the Clevelands. And so that's where we're trying to get to in terms of that depth. But like I said, I look at this team 2 years ago, Whitey. You had a guy like Terrence Davis come in. Some days he played, some days he didn't, but he was always a threat. I would love to see Doug McDermott, if he gets minutes tonight, grab that opportunity and take full advantage of it, because the shots are going to be there. Like, if 2 guys are out, the minutes are going to be there for some of the other guys. And here's the thing too. We know games is where it's at. If you show something in your games, Mike's going to go back to you. Remember Keon Ellis? Remember you told me 2 years ago, what was it? The offense is starting to come around or something like that. But you were right at that time. What he showed in Houston sort of propelled him the rest of that season. And the same can be said for some of the guys tonight.
Here's what some of the smartest viewers and listeners in radio have to say about this whole situation. Azalea Hathaway says Keon Ellis night. Okay. Let's see. Aurora says play McDermott more, Crowder corner threes, but sign Mo Harkless. So it's always back to who are you going to go out and get?
Who you going to go out and get?
Yeah.
Mo Harkless.
Yeah. Wow. We'll take a closer look at those trade rumors. Tell you how the rest of the Kings season may have just gotten a little more complicated when we come back to the Golden One Center on Sacktown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Nuggets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30. Tip-off at 7. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings is Sacktown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Kelly Curran in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We're expecting cloudy skies today with scattered showers through the afternoon. Highs today on the cool side, only topping out in the low 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA app.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino's giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ba, 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 ba. Yep, 'tis the season. Hey, if you take pride in your gift giving, here's a great idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift from the Good Feet store. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
It's time now for your 49er injury report, brought to you by the offices of J.G. Winter Law. In the game versus Los Angeles, the 49ers got back two key defensive players in defensive end Nick Bosa and linebacker Dre Greenlaw. Greenlaw, however, experienced Achilles soreness and played little in the second half. Also, safety Javier Brown left in the second half with a groin injury. Niners lose 12-6 to Los Angeles and fall to 6-8 on the year. Next up for the 49ers, it's Miami.
Serious accident. You deserve the law offices of Jeremy Winter. 877-637-3237. Jeremy lost his mother in a car accident and knows firsthand the pain caused by tragedy. That is why he became an attorney to fight for others who are going through a tragedy. If you've been seriously injured in an accident, you deserve more. You deserve better. You deserve Jeremy Winter. 877-637-3237.
What would it take for a plumbing company to earn your trust? Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And let's face it, plumbing and service companies don't always have the best reputation.
So to earn your trust, the first thing they'd have to do is actually answer the phone when you call with a real live person. Then they'd have to send a plumber when you needed them, day or night, without charging extra for emergency services.
A trustworthy plumber would show up on time, wearing a clean uniform and name badge, and be able to show that they had passed a background check and drug test.
A plumber you could trust would give you a firm quote on the job before starting and clean up after they finish the job.
That's exactly the plumber you'll get when you call Bell Brothers. A plumber you can trust. Call Bell Brothers right now for all your plumbing needs. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers. Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Thank you, Jay, for sending this text along. Joe Davidson on X. Joe Davidson, of course, from the B.
Dang.
On Mike Vick. It's an interesting story, if true. It's, in quotes, it, quote, in all caps, is not true.
Dang.
In caps, Mike Vick is not coming to Sac Hornets football, despite reports by Adam Schefter. So,
wow.
No other details, but
wow.
Yeah.
You know what this sounds like to me?
Sounds like somebody's trying to up the ante for him at Norfolk State.
Right. And then Schefter leaks this out there, And Sac State's like, damn, this news to us. Let me, and Joe Davidson checks in and they refute it. That's how that seems like that's playing out there. Wow.
So
damn, that's like 2 segments of our show.
So Mike Vick's agent's like, I'll get you more money. Watch this.
Why Sac State? Why using us?
Good question.
Come on now. All right, Joe Davidson pouring cold water on that one.
Thank you, Joe Davidson. Meanwhile, speaking of football, from Coach Yak on X, the 49ers currently have 3 players leading Pro Bowl voting at their positions in the NFC. George Kittle, Nick Bosa, Kyle Juszczyk. And Avenging the Revenge Tour extended indefinitely on Twitter responds, let's get our boy Devondre in there.
Oh, man. Devondre Campbell.
Oh, man.
What was your take on that? What's your, because we talked about this on Friday. I mean, I had never seen anything like that. I saw Antonio Brown, do it, wave and go, goodbye. But that was a little different because he's out there a little bit. Devondre, he was stewing over there.
Yeah.
And then coach tries to get him to come in like, nah, I'm good. What did you think of that? Like, and then subsequent today, the news came out that they're suspending him the last 3 games.
Right. Everyone's like, they're going to cut him. Like, no, we have something better.
Right. Something better in mind. We going after the money too.
I guess obviously it takes you back a little. Then on the other hand, it's pro sports. You never know what these guys are thinking. I guess I'm surprised that the 49ers didn't have an inkling that something like that might happen. Sometimes how a guy's feeling.
Yeah.
If in fact they did. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's terrible. Would it have mattered? Who knows? But and also it's like, of course it happened this year, right?
Yeah. Let me ask you this too. And this is as we talk about this, things are just popping into my head. If you're Kyle Shanahan, do you go to Devondre during the week and have a conversation with him? Is it on Shanahan to have that conversation? Is it on position coach to have that conversation?
I would think someone just a courtesy to a veteran,
right?
Right. Like, hey, this is the way it is, and this is why it's that way,
right?
And maybe that did happen. We don't know,
right? But that's why I asked that question. To your point, it's like, wouldn't you get some sort of inkling or like his reaction, how he's feeling about it, or did he just keep it all in? I don't know, man, but. That was bad, and the Niners aren't messing around. They're trying to get back some of the signing bonus too, as well.
Yes,
recoup some of that.
Yeah. So I appreciate you guys holding things down Friday as well as you did. It was no surprise. I was not here Friday because Friday and Saturday there was a family funeral. So I was in the Bay Area for some funeral proceedings, and so there were some 49er fans there. I was talking to one of them yesterday, one of my wife's nephews. And he's just saying, what is going on? What is happening? What happened this year? How did this happen?
I think nobody knows. I mean, it was anything that could go wrong did go wrong.
Yes.
I mean, guys underperforming, injuries, coaching, not up to par, if you ask me. Like they just, and here's the thing. And one thing Jay brought up, and we can't forget, they were up in 4 games, I believe, in the fourth quarter.
I know, and give them just 2 of those and look how
it's so different now. It's like, they weren't like that far off. They played games where they actually had a fourth quarter lead, but then they could never string together the full 60 out there.
So is it injuries? Is it Purdy's play? Is it the coach? Is it guys getting too old? Is it the contract disputes? It's like, yes, it is. That's what it is. It's all of that.
Yes. It's everything, man. It's the injuries. Because think of it, we could just look at the running back position. CMC's out most of the year to start. JP Mason's playing great. CMC comes back. He gets hurt again. JP Mason goes out. Garendo gets banged up. Like it was just, and then when you look at what we saw this past week, against the Rams, you had guys like a Bosa who probably shouldn't have played, but because the season was on the line, they were that desperate, where they understood, what, we got to win this game. And to lose like that, it's just everything, man, went wrong this year.
Yeah.
Like right from the get-go too, Whitey. It's not when training camp was awful.
Right. If you had a movie and this happened to a team, you might go, that's fake. That would never happen.
Right.
Where a guy, and Thank goodness he's okay. Guy gets shot before
yeah.
the season even starts. Debo comes out, I need the ball more. And then he has a chance to score a touchdown and drops the ball. Again, if it's in a movie, you'd say, that's fake. That would never happen. But it's all happening.
It all happened to them this season. And, I was telling Jay the other night, watching that game, I thought especially the defense came out with the proper mindset and physicality. Drake Greenlaw was back.
You score a touchdown and you win the game.
You win the game. And offense let them down, no doubt about it. But also when you look at the defense, last 3 Rams drives were, 50, 60, 70 yards. It was like when you really needed that one stop, they couldn't get it done either.
Yeah. Well, you need linebackers. You have somebody who wants to play linebacker. So we'll talk more about that. Of course, we'll talk about this whole Brock Purdy situation.
Ooh.
But I want to see what you think, Drapes. And you're on the call tonight, right?
Yes, in the big chair tonight.
So tonight you're our play-by-play announcer for our favorite NBA team.
The Denver Nuggets. Yeah. Jokic get a front row seat to see that guy out there tonight. Yes.
We have from Evan Sidery. Kings have inquired about Kuzma, Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith. We have, and I know you are the one who texted me some of this. Pels open to trading anyone except Herb Jones, Yves Missi, and Trey Murphy III, which means the Pels would listen to offers for Zion, but according to reports, they would have to be blown away. What do you think of any of that? And then, of course, we also have the Warriors having made a trade for Dennis Schroeder.
I mean, I look at all the trade targets chatter that's out there, and Sidery's report. Monty, West, Paul, they're seeing the same things we are, Whitey. And I've said this before. They understand team needs, but then I also look at. I just saw something on social media, and you won't believe this. I think our top 5 guys with Kevin Huerter in the starting lineup this year, like our top most played lineup, I think is like 2nd in rating in the NBA.
I saw that too.
You saw that too. I'm trying to, and so part of me wonders, yes, maybe you need to add some depth, that kind of thing. But damn, do we need a good stretch of 10 games, 15 games when everybody's healthy, get our boy Trey Lyles back and see what we really are? And I think that's part of the issue too. It's like, when we're healthy, the numbers suggest this team can be really good. And so, but all those players, I like all those players you mentioned, whether it's Cam, Finney-Smith, hell, I even like Zion. I'm all about, whatever it takes to move, closer to a championship. But then it's not 2K though, right? To get something, you got to give up something. Now you got to tell me, all right, what we giving up? How many picks? What's this? What's the offer like? And so it's silly season now. And the 15th just happened too, Whitey, right? That was yesterday.
Yeah.
So now a lot of guys are eligible to be traded. So I expect things to start to pick up here.
Here's that lineup stat you were looking at. NBA University. I saw it too. 5-man lineups with the most possessions played together so far this season. They rank them in terms of minutes, and the Kings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's the 7th most played. This unit of Herter, Fox, DeRozan, Keegan, and Sabonis. They played the 7th most minutes, but they're plus 7.2. You got Boston is plus 20.9. And Minnesota's plus 9.4.
Oh, Minnesota's ahead.
Then of those 7, the third highest is the Kings at plus 7.2.
There you go.
So we just need to fortify that second unit.
Right. I mean, we know the top 6 is fortified. We know that. When Kevin Huerter gets back healthy. Also, I'm still high on Trey Lyles. I feel like Trey Lyles is kind of the forgotten man right now. People forget, what he can bring to this team. A couple years ago, when we won 48 games, Trey Lyles was a big part of that. You're talking a 3-and-D guy, at the 4 spot, a floor spacer, guy with a little bit of toughness as well, versatility. Trey can put it on the deck too. And so I think, and I was at practice, and, he's obviously, still going through everything he's going through, but when he comes back, I mean, that's another body. We talk about the bench. Well, you're missing a guy that could play 20 minutes for you on any given night, and Trey Lyles also.
Did you get a little run with the guys with practice?
Nah, I didn't bring my shoes, man.
Oh,
I had the loafers on yesterday. I didn't. I had my tennis shoes on. I didn't have my basketball sneakers on. They weren't. You know, it's funny. I walked into the arena today, saw some guys downstairs. They're dressed up in all Kings gear, like head to toe. And I'm like, dang, fellas, y'all look like y'all could give Mike about 20 minutes tonight. Then we joke, yeah, well, we could give him 6 fouls, that's for sure. And that's how I am at this point. That's although I did.
There's some value in that.
I did sign up, Whitey, for the Lifetime Folsom Winter Basketball League.
Nice.
The return of the Drapes. Yep, I'm going back.
First pick probably, if they have a draft. I don't know. They have a draft.
Yeah, they got a draft coming up. I mean, my name should pop off the screen, right? You know, if you want to win. It's funny. You bring up something that happened to me one time. I was playing some pickup ball, and I went to this court I had never been before, and they were picking sides and everything. And I was by myself, and they're picking. And I looked at one of the captains. I said, "If you want to win, you better pick me." Went out there and killed it, Whitey. Like seriously, that was one of the best games I've ever. Like 3 games. I mean, so yeah.
Oh, we have a question here.
What we got?
Speaking of trades, Azalea wants to know, what would it take to get Cam Johnson? We'll come back and see if we can't answer that one from the Golden One Center. Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Nuggets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30. Tip off at 7. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings is Sacktown Sports 1140.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
I don't feel so good.
You do feel hot. Dayquil Kids will take care of that fever.
What about my cough?
Dayquil Kids has that covered.
Will it make my throat feel better?
Yes, that too.
But will it taste good?
Yep, Dayquil Kids comes in your favorite flavor.
Purple?
Well, yes, it's great.
Try new Dayquil Kids Plus Fever, the daytime coughing, aching, sore throat fever just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6+. Use as directed.
The most wonderful time of the year has officially begun at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet in Sacramento. This is the sale you've been dreaming of, with holiday hits on every aisle. 12 full days of unbeatable prices on only the best Makita products in town, and much, much more. Free batteries with tools, free tools with batteries, and bare tools starting at just $99. So check us out at 6701 Power Inn Road in Sacramento, or shop our Christmas deals online at fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet. Better tools, better prices.
Hey, what's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, the Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the Wrap Up the Year sales event?
Well, you have a choice to make. Save up to $17,000 off MSRP on all remaining new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xEs. Or save thousands with 0% financing for 72 months. It's savings your way at Hoblet. Not to mention all the savings at the pump with 56 MPGE.
Those are some really nice Jeeps, and you can't beat that mileage.
The Hoblet family dealers is growing with a huge selection of used cars at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter. With over 220 vehicles available and over 45 under 20,000.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection, nobody beats Hoblet, period. $17,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE models up to $12,250 factory and federal rebates and $4,750 dealer discounts. Rebates include $500 first responder bonus cash for eligible first responders, $3,750 federal EV tax credit. Consult a tax professional for details. 0% for 72 months available in place of $7,500 consumer cash. Must have 700 plus FICO score to qualify. $1,389 per thousand borrowed. 5% savings. Sample VIN 681180. See dealer for details.
Get in on the action at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. With over 80 table games, more than 2,100 slot machines, and a thrilling high-limit room, you'll enjoy a casino experience on a whole new level. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win. Unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion, persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit KHTK.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Kings hosting the Nuggets tonight. Kevin Herter is out, and because of that AC joint sprain.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's in his surgically repaired shoulder.
Yep.
Right, and we also have Keegan questionable tonight with left ankle soreness, which was news today to a lot of people. No one knew that he was hobbled at all, so hopefully he'll be okay tonight.
Yeah, hopefully he'll play tonight. Right now listed as questionable. 5:15, Mike Brown will I'm sure be asked about that, but you're talking about 2 of your floor spacers in Kevin and Keegan, and then no Trey Lyles again as well. That's a lot of 3-point shooting you're missing tonight.
Mm-hmm. The Herter situation could really complicate things for the Kings. Hopefully it doesn't at all. Hopefully within a few days he's fine and that's that. But if it lingers, it would make it, if a deal came along, trickier to move him if you wanted to. And if you didn't, obviously, it makes it trickier to rely on him when he's playing so well off the bench, if that's the type of thing that he's going to be dealing with all year. So, fingers crossed on that.
Yeah, we got to see how it plays out. I mean, we've seen when Kevin Herter's playing and knocking down shots, he takes that offense to a different level. I look at him and Keegan, and the way, if they're knocking down shots, and I will say this about Kevin Herter too. I think a lot of teams would be interested in a guy with his skill set. And I'm not saying this, for trade purposes. I'm saying teams are looking for a wing shooter. Mm-hmm. That's what Kevin Herter is. And so, he's a value, to me, he's valuable. And I've always been saying this, Whitey. I've always beat this drum.
You don't like us talking about trade?
No, not at all, because he's too valuable to this team. We just talked about the stats, 5-man lineups, the most played. The Kings lineup with Kevin Herter out there is third in rating, net rating. And so, this guy, and I do believe too, his defense has actually been better than people are giving him credit for. You're talking about a 6'7" guy with length, getting passing lanes. He's not Bruce Bowen back in the day with the Spurs or anything like that. But Kevin Herter's a key, defensively, he's better than I think he's gotten better too over the years at that.
I know that Sam was just on with Carmichael David Friday, maybe. And he said that, and I think this is true. Obviously he's been told this if he's reporting this, but I think it's true. The Kings have expressed they have a great deal of faith in their core.
Right.
So because of the things you just mentioned, because of that, I don't think the Kings are going to do anything foolish when it comes to a deal. They're not looking to add any big name, it's fun to talk about Zion or whomever, Ingram. They're probably not going to do anything there. And they're probably not motivated enough to do what it would take to get a guy like Cam Johnson.
Right.
I love Cam Johnson, but they may say the price is just more than we're willing to pay right now.
Exactly. And that's something you got to factor in. But we just saw Golden State get Dennis Schroeder. Were you surprised that it only took a couple of second-round picks, basically? I thought, the asking price would be too high for any of these guys we're talking about.
Yeah.
But Dennis Schroeder goes to Golden State for, Melton and expiring contract and a couple of second rounders. Are you surprised?
A little bit. Yeah, but it gets back to what but his coworker, his partner at the Athletic, Anthony Slater, told us last week, because I was saying something about, Cam, the price going up, and he said, yeah, maybe not. teams may talk up the prices of their own guys, but we don't know where those prices are actually going. You know, the Bulls have been talking, according to reports, about moving off of Lonzo, and they're looking for second rounders
Right. Yeah.
for Lonzo.
No, I'm a huge Lonzo fan. I'm rooting for that kid, because when he was healthy to start his time with the Bulls, he was perfect for them. Guy that can knock down threes, guy that can orchestrate the offense. And, obviously had the devastating injury, which almost kept him out 3 years.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. I thought he might be done.
I thought he might
I'm
be
sure
done.
he did too.
Right. And so, but I'm rooting for that kid. And so, if the Bulls decide to move on from him, I hope they find, he finds a good spot. I'm looking at some advanced numbers here. Defensive rating, individual. I don't know how much you pay attention to individual defensive rating or not, but I'm looking at of the regulars. So I'm not going to include Doug McDermott in this because it's small sample size. You got Keegan, and then Kevin Huerter.
What's his margin, offense, defense?
But the net rating there?
Yeah.
Total? Okay. All right. And this is only of the regulars. Keon's net rating is a plus 9.8.
Wow.
Domas plus 6.5. Malik plus 6.3. Kevin, a minus 0.5. And to me, which is surprising when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because we were just talking about the five-man most used lineups, and he's part of that. Yeah, I'm shocked by that. So I think his offensive rating is kind of low, but his defensive rating is pretty stealth.
Well, you know what, too? We know that there are some stretches he's had where offensively he didn't do anything. We know he's capable of playing better than that.
Right.
But he did have some stretches where offensively he wasn't helping much.
Well, here's the thing, though, Whitey. And this is the rating is based on the five-man unit.
Yes.
It's not based on whether you hit shots or not.
Right.
And so.
But if you're not contributing, then there's only four guys. Yeah, I got you. I understand.
Right. If I'm out there and I don't hit a shot, but De'Aaron scores 60, my offensive rating is going to look better than it really is.
Right.
And so now can we say the same thing conversely defensively? I feel like defensively might be a little more accurate of a representation. And for that, I'd have to look at five-man lineups, right? Like look at five-man lineups with all those guys.
There's some speculation / reporting out of the Bay Area that for the Warriors to have a shot at Cam Johnson, get back to Cam Johnson and the Kings, they would have had to been willing to part with Kuminga, which they weren't. If that's true, that tells me that Jordy and the Nets are going to want Keegan, and we don't think the Kings have any interest in that.
I wouldn't. Like Keegan,
it doesn't appear they do. So I love Cam Johnson, but I'm starting to think he may be a little too rich for the Kings' blood. Dorian Finney-Smith maybe is very attainable.
More attainable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look at Keegan, and here's the thing, man. People aren't understanding, too. This guy is still, I think, has tons of room to grow. Like, I don't think he's a finished product by any stretch of the imagination. And, it's the question becomes, can Keegan be Cam Johnson? Can he be that guy? Or can he be even better? I think the organization probably thinks he could be like, he's the number 4 overall pick. You don't give up on that. We've seen when here's the thing too, Whitey. We started off the season praising Keegan, talking about how great he is defensively. He's playing the other teams. I'm not going to let, just because shots don't fall, dictate his value, whether or not he has value or not, because that's all results oriented. That's all. But we know he's a better 3-point shooter than when he is. We know Kevin Huerter's a better 3-point shooter. And so why would I, and I'm just speaking for me, want to give up on a guy when he's not even playing at his best? Like when I know he can be better, you know what I mean? I'd still believe Keegan, especially in this offense, and give Cam Johnson a lot of credit. He's knocking down shots. He's knocking them down. But Keegan does a lot too, and we just need him to start knocking down those shots. We saw it a little bit the other night. he had probably the quietest 18 points. Nobody's talking about that. Like, and not only 18, he had a couple of big shots down the stretch. He had a 3-ball. He had the little baseline floater or whatever it was. And so I think for me, I need to see this another 10, 15 games, to be honest, before I truly can say, you know what, we need this in the start. We need that. Like, last 5 games, we've been great.
Mm-hmm.
We've been great, Whitey.
Yep.
And let me ask you this. And I'm taking Keegan off the board here. If you go get a guy like Cam Johnson, where you playing him at? He coming off the bench? Or
he's probably coming off the bench.
Right, man.
But that's where I need help.
Right.
I don't know how he would feel about that. But I'm really keeping a close eye on the Nets in the next few days or so, because Hollinger pointed this out in The Athletic. The Nets are motivated to trade these guys now. Schroeder was playing really well,
right.
And they would just as soon flop for flag. And the more games they win, the harder it is to do that.
They were
Which
like,
also applies
snap, we're winning
Dorian
too much.
Finney-Smith and Cam Johnson. They want to move these guys so they can commit fully to tanking. And the Kings, if they're interested in those guys or Kuzma or whomever, it's so tight in the West. Every one of these games is so crucial. Whatever you're going to do, if someone has something available at a price you like, you got to move on it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the text line, 916. Scared money don't make money. It's great to love your players, but this isn't a nostalgic business. You have to be willing to move players, even good players, to maximize your ceiling as a team. I feel like Monty's proven that. He made arguably trading Tyrese Halliburton. Like, that was, Whitey, you remember at the time, people were like, what the hell are you doing, Monty?
Yes.
That was a bold move. And so I don't think, like, scared isn't the word I would use. Judicious about it, whatever, methodical, yes, but scared? Nah, this dude made arguably, this is like trading Jason with white chocolate 20-something years ago. You know what I mean? Like that, it's like Tyrese was a fan favorite. Whew. I don't know. You got me fired up, man. Just trade, because everybody's an expert.
We'll turn our attention to your favorite, Brock Purdy, and what the 49ers should do with him. When we come back, Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports, next.
Tonight, Kings and Nuggets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30. Tip-off at 7. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings is Sacktown Sports 1140.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer-dropping, overtime forcing, layoffs on the line. Call Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com and tune into the inaugural season beginning January 7th. Keep up. It's golf.
Is your everyday congestion preventing you from enjoying life's big moments? Try Vicks Sinex Saline today and get yourself back in the action. Vicks Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion with a gentle ultrafine mist. Sinex Saline's drug-free, no-mess formula instantly moisturizes and soothes dry, irritated nasal passages for quick and effective relief. Get back to enjoying life's big moments to the fullest without having to worry about everyday congestion holding you back. Just Sinex, breathe, use as directed.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wine, spirits, beers, all nestled on shelves.
Curbside pickup and delivery available, and the lowest prices for over 30 years only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
I'm Craig Ashton with the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. It may sound contradictory for a personal injury firm to wish you a safe holiday season, but we at Ashton & Price wish that no one has to suffer an injury in an automobile collision. But if you're an accident injury victim, you can lean on Ashton & Price to do all the legal legwork. They introduce you to the best medical care providers in the area, so during this holiday season, you can focus on your health and your family. So from all of us at Ashton & Price, we advise you to have the happiest and safest of holidays.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Get huge year-end savings on the all-new 2025 Silverado now at Maida Chevy.
With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates on select new 2025 half-ton Silverado LT and RST.
And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area.
$8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Now available with special financing using some of their offers.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away, so the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
This holiday at T-Mobile, I'm joined by a special co-anchor.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Big Snoop Deal Double G.
Snoop, let's talk about T-Mobile.
Okay, cool.
This holiday, get 4 lines for $25 a line, plus 4 iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence and the all-new camera control on us.
Let's get cracking, like a breakfast egg.
You can use those eggs to make some eggnog, Snoop.
Respect.
And people do love T-Mobile, where you can save on every plan versus the other big guys when you switch.
You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
Always a great stocking stuffer, Snoop.
We up out of here.
Hold your horses, Snoop D-O-double-G. Let's remind people one more time.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get 4 iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us, plus 4 lines for $25. Now drop that J.
With 24-month bill credits for eligible trade-ins and 4 new lines of auto pay. All qualified customers with taxes and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits or credit stop and balance and required finance agreement is due $999.99. Credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save on wireless and streaming versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence requires iOS 18.1 or later.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is expanding. I guess you could say the Super Shop is getting more super. That means more for you. More apparel, more equipment, more shoes, more gift ideas, more of everything you want. If you're looking for the right gift for the golfer in your life, let the friendly team of Hagen Oaks experts help you find the perfect gift. From golf bags to golf balls, from golf pants to golf shirts, from rain gear to golf gloves, Hagen Oaks has it all. And much is on sale. Visit the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Rare Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80, or find us at HagenOaks.com.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Going to take a quick break from the talk of NBA trade speculation to see if we can figure out what's going on with the Sac State Mike Vick story. A short while ago, I don't know, hour and a half, whatever it was, we had a report from Adam Schefter on X that Sac State was, let me make sure I get the wording right, in discussions to hire Mike Vick as its new head coach. Then we had Joe Davidson on X. It's an interesting story if true. It is not true. Mike Vick is not coming to Sac State, despite reports by Adam Schefter. Then there's a link to Joe's story. And then if you go to the story that he posted for the Bee, reports that Mike Vick is the next Sac State coach is premature, school says. And Joe goes on to say that Sac State has had talks with Mike Vick. So
I think honestly, if I'm trying to put all the pieces together, Whitey, I got the Schefter story.
Yeah.
I got Joe's tweet and I got Joe's story.
Yes.
I feel like Joe's tweet is contradicting his story because I don't think Schefter said that and the Vic has been selected to head the football program, because he says in the story, 2 officials told them that Vic being selected to head the Hornets football program are not true. I don't think Schefter said Michael Vick is becoming the next head football coach.
Right. He said, and that's why I wanted to clarify. He said, Schefter did, Sac State is in discussions to hire Mike Vick, which does sound like it's kind of further down the road. But that doesn't say it's a done deal.
It doesn't say it's a done deal. Yeah. They're talking to him, you know, and so and then here's the thing about, you know, the story I'm reading here on the B.com, SacB.com, you know,
Joe is our guy, by the way.
Joe's our guy. And
Yeah.
so we trying to get him on the show. He could clarify it for us. National reports that former NFL Pro Bowl quarterback Michael Vick was closing in on becoming the next football coach at Sacramento State are premature at best.
Okay.
So what does all this mean? Are they talking
It
or
means
not?
that it's not a done deal, but they
are
talked,
talking,
and
right?
they're getting a ton of
Exactly,
national interest. And Sac State, to me, another thing I get out of this is that Sac State don't want people knowing how far along they are in these talks, or they'd just rather people know we're talking to a lot of people.
Right.
Mike Vick's one of them.
We're talking to a lot of people. We're talking to a lot of people. Now, I would imagine, and hopefully we'll get Joe on here. You got to look at where the sources are. Schefter's sources are probably more so from Vick's camp, I would believe.
I would guess so.
Joe D's sources are probably more so from Sac State's camp, I believe. And
he does quote, pardon me, but to your point, he quotes AD Mark Orr and something he told to be last week. So, yes, I think we pretty much know that what you said is absolutely true.
Right. Exactly. Yes. And so I look at it like this. Vick's camp says, you know what? We're progressing. We're in talks with Sac State about becoming their next head coach. Schefter runs with that. Sac State is saying, hold up. It's not a done deal yet. We're premature. We're talking, but nothing. And so it sounds like the talks are ongoing. The question is, have they zeroed in on Michael Vick? Is he the only guy that they're talking to right now?
Or also added, again, this was last week, according to Joe, Sacramento State needs to hire a coach before Christmas. Quote, our student athletes need to know, our community needs to know the transfer portal is open.
Damn.
Our signed recruits need to know.
Right,
So,
right. They got to get this done, they're saying. Yeah. It's, but you know how this is too, Whitey. Usually where there's smoke, there's fire. You know what I mean? Usually, no, this ain't happening. And then a week later, it happens, and it's to me sounds like there's some substance to it. There's some ongoing discussions to it.
It also sounds like an element of this could be Mike Vick's people are leveraging Sac State in order to get a better deal at Norfolk State.
Sort of like Dan Hurley with UConn and the Lakers. Remember that?
Yeah.
He was all but in LA, right?
I don't know, but that certainly could be part of it.
That could be part of it.
If that's the case, you're Sac State, you're going, whoa.
Right. It's I don't know, man. It's something's going down, but it might, like you said. Yeah, I remember back in 2017 or 18 when I was in negotiations with Oklahoma City Thunder for their play-by-play job. We were in deep discussions. I mean, I flew out there 2 or 3 times. Went house shopping with the family, everything.
Stayed with Coach Dagnall.
Me and Coach Dagnall. Coach Dagnall was no, this was Billy Donovan back
then.
This was Billy D back then. Hung out with Sam Presti and Clay Bennett, the owner. Like, we were in deep talks, but it didn't happen. And so I would imagine Sac State too.
Did you go to Mercedes-Benz of Tulsa?
They didn't have that one. If that deal would have been in there, I would have taken the job. But think of it like this: as an organization, let's say you're Sac State, you don't want this out there because what if Vic says thanks but no thanks?
Right.
Then that's egg on your face.
Right.
You look bad.
Right.
And
you're trying to build all this positive momentum.
Right.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be, the bridesmaid out there. And so hold on. I think it's I'm not going to read that. Sorry about that. So, sometimes you get caught up reading some of these texts and YouTube chats. I'm like, all right. I'm not reading that one.
You also I don't know if they're talking to Mike Vick or not, but if you are, you don't want his camp to make these negotiations public. You don't want them to be able to negotiate with you in public.
Right.
Where everyone goes, oh yeah, Mike Vick, you got to get him.
Right. And how much of it too, and I'm not saying this is happening, but if I'm an organization, we've seen this happen in the past, you leak out some information to see what the public response is going to be.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
All the time.
All the time. Like,
I think the commissioner of baseball just did that with that whole stupid golden hat.
Yeah, exactly. Let me throw this out there.
No. And he said, oh, look, I just threw it out there.
Hey, Royale. How about, the public backlash to our boy Royale? Never mind. Nope. We're not going that route. So,
So that's where we think it is.
Yeah.
I wonder now if Schefter is going to respond to any of this.
I tell you what, though. I've been scouring social media here during the commercial break.
That's always fun.
I know. So, people are picking up and running away with this thing. Like, and I know social media is not a true representation of the overall population, but a lot of Sacramento people I follow seem to be excited about this possibly happening. This is a big name guy, a former great football player who obviously had some off the field issues that he got in trouble for. But to have a guy like that leading Sac State, I mean, I think that would bring a lot of enthusiasm and excitement to the program.
Fellas, but isn't that, and I think that's the big part about this is the fact that Sac State is even in the news, I think is the phenomenon that we're talking about. And Drapes, I think you're spot on in the form of, I'm sitting here looking at social networks and that's the talk right now. That's the buzz.
Yeah.
And that to me, no matter if, Vic does not come this way or he does come this way, I think just we're scratching the surface on what he can bring to the table. And I think that's where the excitement of, where Sac State possibly could be is enticing, as a fan.
Yeah. And here's what it is, Drapes. Now, we figured out the whole thing. What's Joe saying?
Got it figured out?
Well, I think so. What Sac State is saying here, and again, the source quoted by Joe D is Sac State administrator. Sac State is saying, we haven't decided on anybody. Schefter's making it sound like they picked him. They're talking to him. Okay. Sac State saying, we haven't picked anybody. Now, they are under the gun here. The Hornets coaching post closes Wednesday. No one has been selected. So Sac State just saying, we've talked to him. We talked to a lot of people. We haven't made up our mind.
Right.
Where Schefter's saying they're talking. Vic's their guy that they're pursuing. I don't know what the truth is, but that's what Vic's camp is saying, and that's what Sac State's saying.
Is Schefter saying that though? That's what I'm trying to.
Well, if they're in discussions to hire him, I mean, you don't do that, right? Unless you've selected somebody.
All right. Yeah, I guess. And Joe's saying that's untrue.
Sac State is telling him.
True.
Yeah.
Right.
We haven't picked him.
Right. We haven't picked him.
We might pick him, but we haven't picked
him. And some other, but we haven't narrowed it down to he's the guy.
Right.
Job. Okay.
Is Brock Purdy the guy? Should he be the guy going forward? That's next on Sacktown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Nuggets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30. Tip-off at 7. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings is Sacktown Sports 1140.
Coach Doug Christie here for your truck headquarters, reminding you that every deal at Folsom Lake Ford is a slam dunk. Shop all your favorite models on sale now, including America's best-selling truck for over 47 years, Ford F-Series, plus a huge selection of Broncos, Bronco Sports, and all of Ford's award-winning SUVs at FolsomLakeFord.com. Listen, I know a great play when I see one, and if you want to save on a new Ford, you gotta drive the lane straight to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Right now, buy any new Ford with zero down on approval of credit. Save big with low interest financing, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. So hurry to Folsom Lake Ford, a 6-time Triple Crown winner for sales and service excellence. That's why they're my trusted dealer, and they should be yours too. Tell them Coach Doug Christie sent you, or shop them online at FolsomLakeFord.com.
Get even more savings this holiday season by becoming a Milo's Rewards member. Don't miss new member deals dropping every week, like $15 off a purchase of $50 or more on select Bounty, Charmin, and Puffs paper products. Plus, get free standard shipping with Silver Key status. Just one more way Lowe's is here to help you shop, save, and enjoy the holidays. Join for free today. Milo's Rewards program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change. Exclusions and more terms apply. Visit Lowe's.com/shipping terms for details.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites. This week, score buy one, get one free world-famous pancake combos from IHOP, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on pizza, burgers, tacos, and more, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms, taxes, and fees apply. See app for details.
your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Kings and the Nuggets tonight. Scott Hastings from the Nuggets. He may stop by at some point here. Looking forward to hopefully talking to him. I saw on social media that he suggested on one of his post-game shows that things aren't what they should be with the Nuggets.
Really?
Yeah, that was earlier this month. So I don't know how how revealing he'll be, but he's not one to pull punches. So looking forward to that. And they're playing a little better now, and the Kings are playing better. So we'll see if the Kings can continue to establish something resembling a home court advantage, Drapes. Right?
Yeah, they got
home.
Yeah, they got to get it clicking. They got to get it going. And they've been better as of late. You know what I mean? Had that big win against Houston, obviously dropped $1 million against Utah in this building as well. But this is a step up in competition versus the last 4 games. You know what I mean? This is a Denver team that's won 2 in a row. That's kind of healthy right now. Murray is back. And they got the 3-time MVP in Jokic. This is a game. Think about it like this too, Whitey. If Jokic goes off, that's on Sports Center. That's on First Take. So as a team, we want to make sure, let's say Sabonis goes off. Maybe it's not on there, but we don't want to be on the receiving end of a Jokic historic performance.
Didn't you think? Well, I don't know what you thought. I thought that Domas got a little more attention than I thought he would for the first 30-20 game of the year. Not like he didn't get as much as Domas would have gotten, but people are starting. Excuse me,
Jokic.
Yeah. But people did notice that.
Did they notice it? I
didn't
get to
a little
see,
bit.
The national media talking about it.
It's nothing to the degree that would have been if Jokic did it. By the way, speaking of bigs, somebody in the chateau a while ago said was telling us, "Hey, Paul Reed, go get Paul Reed.
P-ball Paul.
You can't get Paul Reed because Detroit waived him, but then they re-signed him.
Did they re-sign him?
Yeah.
When?
Reed re-signs on a prorated veteran minimum contract, which will probably be non-guaranteed unless that's they haven't done it yet, but they're going to do it.
Really?
According to Keith Smith, it sounds like it's part of their plan.
Oh yeah,
waived Paul Reed to get off that bigger salary. Reed re-signs on a prorated veteran minimum contract.
Yeah, the Pistons announced it 42 minutes ago also. Yeah, so B-ball Paul is not out there anymore.
So that was all part of it. It was a salary structure move for them.
All right, you on top of it, dude. I was like, hold up, now I didn't.
Yeah,
but now, that just happened. So B-ball Paul is off the books here.
So speaking of salary structure moves and free agency and contracts, what's the smart move here for the 49ers and Brock Purdy? And let me just also say this before we get any further. And I told them earlier I wouldn't say this on the radio, but things are, as you know, looking really good for your Eagles right now in the NFC.
Fly, Eagles, fly. That's all I'm going to say. No matter who Detroit's we play, we handle our business.
Detroit has I think it's 13 defensive players either on IR or out.
Dude,
for the rest of the year.
They couldn't stop Buffalo. I mean, that was 48-42.
Their defense is really struggling.
I'll say this about the Brock Purdy situation, and I'm gonna approach it from a Niners standpoint. Max, I'm looking to give him his 50. Max, maybe even 45, ideally, if I can get him for that. And if he doesn't want to sign for that, then we're going to play this thing out.
Yep.
We're going to play this last year out. You got to prove it to me.
You're still under contract.
You're still under contract. Exactly. Almost sort of like Ayuk, right? You're going to have to play it out, and eventually, obviously, they gave Ayuk that deal, but I don't know if I'm willing to commit 55, 58, whatever it may be. Anything over 50, I don't know if I'm willing to commit that to Brock Purdy.
I understand that. Here's what we had in The Athletic today. An executive from another team said, I think Mike Sando had this quote: "The new contract for Purdy in the offseason was a slam dunk for me until Thursday night. What I saw was a guy who was so limited physically that I'm not saying I don't want him. It's just the first time I've said, he can't make those throws." Now, maybe Kyle Shanahan and his infinite wisdom and the Niners feel like, nah, he's fine. In which case, then they're going to go ahead and give him an obscene amount of money. But yeah, if there's any doubt there, you do have to exercise for the good of your roster and team the flexibility that the situation gives you and say,
yes,
we're not sure we want to do that yet.
Yes. And here's the thing too. I look at the Cowboys giving Dak all that money. But they didn't surround him with, the talent, no running game, no second or third receiver. When you look at Brock Purdy, if you sign him to that massive deal, to Whitey's point, does this hamper you from actually keeping the talent around him? And maybe you got to cut Debo, get rid of a Debo or somebody like that, And so I just think if we're having an analogy with basketball, Brock Purdy on his rookie deal is sort of like getting Steph Curry on his cheaper deal because of his ankles.
Yeah.
That allowed you to go sign a Kevin Durant, somebody like that. You give Brock 55, 60, now you can't go out there and get the Kevin Durants of the world or whoever it may be in football.
Now, I think it was Tom Pelissero, NFL Media. He reported that Brock Purdy is looking for a top of the market offer. And that's what he and his agent are looking for. And I saw some people on social media, some reporters, not just fans, saying, what terrible timing for his agent to come out with that. I don't think the agent actually did, but I'll tell you this. If I'm Brock Purdy and my agent says anything less than that, he's not my agent anymore, right? That's what your agent is supposed to do.
We'll take a hometown discount,
Our guy hasn't been very good this year.
Exactly. I'm looking at the highest paid quarterbacks by salary cap percentage, because that's ultimately what it boils down to. And Joe Burrow is in there. He's at $55 million, 24.5% salary cap. Not a winning team right now.
Right.
And I understand. Trevor Lawrence, 21.5. Yeah. Jared Goff is 20.8. He's making $53 million. See, so that might be, right around the sweet. Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson. Lamar's only making 52. Jalen Hurts, 51.
That's a bargain, isn't
That's
it?
a bargain. Yeah, that's
right
a
now.
bargain right there. And so if I'm the Niners, Josh Allen's making 23.6 of the cap, $43 million. Man, you can't give Brock Purdy 55, 60 million. He'd be 25% of the cap. And he's not even, no offense to him, he hasn't shown what a lot of these other quarterbacks have.
Hasn't had a great year this year. And his agent can, and I'm sure they will, say, look at all the winning we've done other than this year. And none of these other quarterbacks have won as much as he's won. But if you're the Niners, whatever your sweet spot is, you got to have a quarterback, and they are expensive. So at some point, you're not going to be able to, you can't get away with paying your quarterback what you paid him the last few years. But does that mean you give him 60? To me, that would be absurd.
Right. Let me ask you that, because I was watching, I think it was Colin Cowherd earlier, and I'm just throwing out what he said. This is what he was talking about. Would you rather have Brock Purdy at 50 to 55 million, or I'm just saying, don't bite my head off of this. All right. Don't.
I mean, you are saying it.
I'm throwing out
take some responsibility.
Don't come at me, or a Sam Darnold at 40 million, or a Baker Mayfield. What's Baker at? 30 something million. Like, I don't know.
Until I can examine Brock's arm, I like the less expensive option.
Right.
Because he looks like he's got something going on with his arm right now.
You've been saying that all season.
Yes.
You got something on it.
I don't. I just watch him and go, oh.
No, it's, he's coming off an issue a couple of years ago, obviously.
Very serious.
It's very serious arm issue. And so, I don't know. That's a lot of money to commit to a guy. It might be, like I said, I need to see more tape, Brock. I need to see one more year of you.
Did you guys, you probably did on Friday, talk about what Jimmy Garoppolo's brother posted?
I don't know. Did we? I don't know if we got into that.
No, we ain't talking about that chump.
We ain't talking. Jay ain't want to go there. He was feeling salty on Friday.
So it was the night of, or the day after that loss to the Rams, and there was a picture Jimmy's brother posted on social media of Kyle Shanahan on the sidelines, and it was offensive genius with multiple laugh emojis.
Yes. 6 points. 6 points. And the fact that Jimmy G He's the backup too, right? At
Yeah,
the Rams side.
yeah.
So he had the last laugh on that. Yeah, that's and we did talk about Kyle Shanahan and how much is he to blame and what's going on with his offense. Has it become predictable? And I think it was ESPN I was watching the other day. They were like, Shanahan has to scheme how to get his guys open in man-to-man coverage.
Yeah.
Because that right now, and you've been talking about it all season, teams are just locking you up one-on-one, daring you to, their receivers to beat them, and they can't.
Yeah. And Brock Purdy's had some bad turnovers this year.
Bad turnovers.
Yeah.
Bad.
And maybe look at his numbers and say, no, overall his touchdown to interception, whatever. Some of the interceptions he's thrown have been terrible.
Terrible. That one, what was it, 2nd and 11,
And you're almost in, or you're in field goal range.
And here's the thing, Whitey. There were like 4 Rams defenders in the vicinity right there. It's like, dude, and the thought is he predetermined, no matter what, I'm going to throw this.
It was like the Rams were gathering for a team picture, and then there comes a Brock.
Here comes the ball right in the middle of it.
Yeah, yeah.
They had all the corners painted on that way. Yeah. Bad turnover, and it only gives fuel to the ammunition that, Brock is a product of the talent around him. I think he's a good quarterback, but here's the thing. Is he a franchise quarterback? And I don't know how many there are out there. I look at obviously the Mahomes and the Allens, and who did we have on the other day, Jay, that had Brock Purdy on a tier below that even? Like
that Kirk Morrison?
Was it Kirk?
Or was it?
No, it was who we have on Friday. We had somebody on Friday.
Oh, Eric Crocker.
Eric Crocker. Stockton's own Eric Crocker. And he had Brock a little, even like bottom of the second tier, top of the third after that performance.
So what's your sweet spot? Would you say 45?
45 to 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're Brock, you got to take that, right?
I think.
How do I sit, dude? You're making $1 million now. Like, you got to take that. He's not in a position, I don't think, because now there's some talk, and I'm just throwing things out that people are saying on TV and stuff I'm hearing. If you're the Niners, do you go out there and maybe look to trade Bosa and his $34 million a year? Move up in the draft.
Is this also Colin Cowherd saying this?
It might have been. It might have been the ESPN guy or so. But and this is something our boy TC brought up the other day, and it made me think, like, if you're Shanahan, because you don't know how this Brock situation is going to end up, do you start looking for another quarterback, a young guy to come in, whether it's 1 year or sort of like the Patriots did with Jimmy G,
right?
When they had Tom Brady, they weren't sure how the Tom Brady situation, and they drafted Jimmy G with a high draft pick. Do you do that if you're the Niners?
The thing that concerns me is that in Kyle's mind, I've got my guy. All right. I figured it out. People have criticized me for not having my quarterback. I got my guy. Well, what about it? Doesn't matter. He hasn't played well this year. And the team,
right.
No.
So,
you don't understand.
No doubt in
He's
Kyle.
my guy.
So Kyle's doesn't.
Well,
not
that's what I'm afraid of.
Doubt.
Yeah, I hope he does.
Okay.
But I'm afraid he's going to go, nope.
All right.
I know what I know, and I know he's my guy. And we're going to give him all the money in the world.
All right.
Joe Davidson's going to join us at 3:45.
Oh, we got Joey D.
Yeah, when we come back, more on the Kings and the tall task ahead of them tonight that got a little taller today. Next on Sacktown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Nuggets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30. Tip-off at 7. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings is Sacktown Sports 1140.
Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. Enjoy over 80 table games, more than 2,100 slot machines, and our thrilling high-limit room with Sky River rewards that add up and up, and 18 elevated restaurants and bars. There's something for everyone. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right. Sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team.
Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. And participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. It's Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Good Guys Heating and Cooling. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
Thunder, see the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, see the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on report.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
3:45 to clarify what is and what isn't going on between Sacramento State and Mike Vick. We also have this drapes. We were talking a bit ago about Devondre Campbell and whether or not the 49ers had any idea that he was disgruntled. Yeah.
Kevin Kruger on X has posted video, and I haven't heard the video yet, but it's video of Nick Bosa saying he could hear Devondre Campbell complaining in the locker room before the game. So apparently at least one 49er did have an inkling that Devondre Campbell was not happy before that game.
And I think, was it Travarius Ward that talked about he had this, he had it already made up in his mind that that Campbell already had it made up in his mind he wasn't going to play, and he was salty about it and everything. And so, you know, it sounds like he was a malcontent muttering under his breath, you know, even before the game in the locker room.
Yeah. And John Lynch went down there and kicked him off the sideline.
Like, get on out of here. Get out of here. Like, and me and Jay were talking, like, if this was a road game, we didn't even allow that dude on the plane to fly back. Like, how do you face your teammates?
Yeah.
Like, you know, in the locker room after something like that.
Mm-hmm. In a way, I think there almost is some upside for that potentially for the 49ers, as terrible as this year has been. And who knows, you know, you never say it couldn't get any worse,
right?
Because it always could. But you have clearly here, all right, look, here's the line. Are you in or are you out? This guy's out. And this is a good chance here. Things haven't gone well. Anybody who don't want to be here, you let us know.
Right.
We'll find somebody else. So what's it going to be?
Sort of like Bosa said after the game. These last three games will tell us who wants to be a 49er.
Exactly.
Not, right? You know what I mean? Not much to play for, but you play for personal pride, you play for the organization, and you play for each other in that locker room. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, no, this is an audition. And, you know, sort of like with Keon Ellis in the Kings. It may have been garbage time, but he went out there and busted his butt. For the Niners, may not be much left in the season, but if you go out there and bust your butt,
right,
you're showing the coaches and the organization, you know what? All right, this guy's going to play no matter what.
Here's where it gets complicated for the players, right? Because you say, here's the line. You want in or you want out?
Right.
All right, you guys are in? Great. Some of you we don't want anyway, Right. That's the way to. That's
Seven of
great.
you
You played
hoping to
well.
opt out
We got a
anyway,
salary
yeah.
crunch here, and we appreciate it. But see you later.
Yeah.
But thanks.
That's the NFL right there,
Exactly,
right? It's
yeah.
like, we want you to give us your all,
Uh-huh.
lay it all on the line. But the second we don't want you,
Right.
Sorry, we look past
We're a
somebody else.
family. Sorry, you just
Right,
got kicked
right.
out of the family. Yeah.
Oh.
Tonight, the Kings and
Yes.
Denver Nuggets, and we found out this afternoon Kevin Huerter downgraded to out for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Keegan Murray questionable with some left ankle soreness, which came as a surprise to Kyle Draper, who was at practice yesterday.
Yeah. Keegan was at practice yesterday. But it's left ankle soreness.
Yeah.
And who knows, where that came from. Questionable. I always, and I always look at questionable as, so you're saying there's a chance.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're saying there's a chance. And, obviously doubtful would mean, pretty much it ain't going to happen.
That's like the old NFL thing. Is doubtful is like 25%.
Yeah, 25%. Questionable is 50.
50.
Yeah,
You don't have probable anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And so I wonder if this is a thing, where he woke up with it, sore, because I looked at the injury report this morning and I didn't see it on there.
And know that the High Flyer sat right here weeks ago and told us that Keegan was dealing with something in his heel or something.
Yeah. That's what High Flyers said.
Maybe it's something he's been dealing with for a while.
Nursing for a while. I mean, here we are, hour and 45 away from Mike talking. I'm sure he'll give an update, but man, despite the 3-point shooting numbers, Keegan's a big part, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big, I looked at the numbers, man. Despite, the shooting numbers, he's still second on the team in minutes played per game. Mike is still turning to him because he does so many other things defensively. His rebounding has been infinitely better. Like, he's really become a strong rebounder, even an offensive rebounder.
Yeah. Not to sound like Freddie the Fan, but he's a guy that you want on the floor, even when he's not shooting as well as you'd like him to. You still want him on the floor as much as you can get him on the floor.
Right. Exactly. And, because here's the thing, too, about Keegan that I love. He's not going to get out of sorts and try to do too much and turn the ball over and you know what I mean, just deviate from the offense, break away from what they're trying to do. And so even when he's out there, he's still running the offense. He's still, trying to put other guys in position. It's just, and he's getting the looks. It's just now a matter of making them. Like, that's the only thing that's missing, really, is just starting to make the shots, and that's going to come.
And the shot does look better since the Houston game.
It really does. It really does. And I've been listening to Mark on the call the last 4 or 5 games or so, and it's interesting. He's always like, Keegan looks like he's about to break out. The shot is developing, and I got some numbers here over the last 5 games for Keegan Murray in terms of the shooting, Whitey. Over the last 5 games, our guy Keegan Murray from 3-point range, hot diggity dog, 40.7% from 3 over his last 5 games. Keegan Murray
got some there. And
I just
4 wins out of those 5.
Yeah,
right?
4 out of the last 5. Yep, we've won 5-game stretch. Keegan Murray, 40.7% from 3. Hot diggity dog. You're going to hear that on the broadcast tonight, big dog. I'm telling you that.
Here's something else the Kings have been doing really well the last 5 games. This is their turnovers committed over the last 5 games. 10 turnovers, 13, 11, 8, and 11 again.
Yes.
13 is the game they lost to Memphis. They've been doing a great job of limiting turnovers.
Yes, over that last 5 you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah. First in turnovers over that span. Fewest turnovers.
I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Dude, I got the research right here. Whitey,
yeah,
right there.
See, I'm telling you, in some ways, they're starting to become, in some ways, more of a take care of the ball half-court team.
That's excellent.
Which takes it takes pressure off your defense, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Fewer
possessions.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. The other team gets, and fewer easier buckets, transition buckets. You're not giving up as much.
Right.
And so, that's why I think, too, when you look at it, and I know people say, well, look who they played, Drapes and Whitey. Nah, but it's more than that. It's they just look better, right? Like over
Yeah.
the last 5 games. And, whether it's Malik being in the starting lineup, the ball hopping around, more playmakers, whatever it is, it's working. And that's encouraging with this team going forward.
I'm sure you and Jay touched on this or talked around it on Friday, but how nervous did you get down the last few minutes of that win over the Pelicans?
Come on, bro. Never that. Never that.
At one point I looked up, I was like, whoa.
Right. Yeah. you know what, though? What we did talk about, Whitey, obviously CJ McCollum went nuts, 17 in that fourth. But we talked about how the Kings won a game where it wasn't pretty offensively. They shot under 40% from the field, Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
I think they shot 30% from 3-point range, and so
that was with DeMar going 3 for 3.
Yeah, 3 for 3. DeMar, like that. I was more encouraged with that win than what I saw against Utah when we dropped 141, because when you look at it, and I liken it to a prize fight, if you will, instead of going for the knockout blow, which I wanted to see when we went on an 18-4 run in the first quarter, well, the Pelicans kept coming back. They were like that fighter you just couldn't knock out. So you had to win on points and take it to distance and hit them with the jabs. And I felt like that's what we did all game long. It was like we just kept hitting them with jabs. And then finally at the end, all the dust clears and, man, we get a 2-point win.
Yeah, because one of the key plays with the game on the line was a defensive play by Malik.
Malik. Yes. And Malik talked about that yesterday at practice, just about his defense, because nobody ever talks about his defense. And so he's got quick hands, man. I think it was De'Aaron, too, that was guarding the ball. Like, these guys got quick hands. And I got the numbers right here, Whitey. This Sacramento Kings team, 13th in deflections. It slid back a little bit. They were higher in that first month of the season. But we definitely have DeMar, Keon, De'Aaron, Malik, guys that can get in the passing lanes or deflect balls, swipe down. And I think that's, something that this team can really glob on.
Yep.
It doesn't always have to be a lockdown. Yeah, that's your identity. Yep.
Yes. Now, what the heck is going on or isn't going on between Sac State and Mike Vick? We'll find out. Joe Davidson from the B joins us with the very latest next on Sacktown Sports.
Tonight, Kings and Nuggets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30. Tip-off at 7. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings is Sacktown Sports 1140.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. The winter months bring joy, but also with more rain and snow, unfortunately, more accidents. Over the last quarter century, thousands of Northern California residents have looked to Ashton & Price to be their root op with a law license to guide them through the storm of an injury claim. As always, we wish you and your family the safest and happiest of holidays. But if you need us, at Ashton & Price, we're here for you. So whether you've been naughty or nice, happiest holidays from Ashton & Price.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
At Makita, good enough is never enough. Anyone can throw in a stronger motor, but it takes precision to find that balance of power, performance, and longevity. We obsess over every detail. We design, test, redesign, and do it all over again to create tools that'll keep going with you from project to project, job site to job site, year after year. If it's not right, don't put your name on it. Makita, available at the Home Depot.
Merry Christmas from Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and we're still celebrating Black Friday all month long. When buying a car, getting a good deal, it's kind of the easy part. Where Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram really sets themselves apart from anywhere else is the experience, from sales to service and everything in between. It's why so many people keep coming back to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. It's because it's the place where a handshake still means something. And if you've been wanting to experience that Jeep life, there's no better time than now. SacSuperstore.com, located off of Business 80 across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Not sure how much you know about Progressive Insurance. You may know us for insuring your home and auto. You may know a couple of our commercials. But what you may not know is that since 2013, Progressive has been honoring veterans with vehicle donations through the annual Keys to Progress Veteran Vehicle Giveaway Program, giving back to those who gave so much. Now, you probably didn't wake up today saying, I really wish I knew more about Progressive Insurance, but this seemed like the type of thing people wouldn't mind hearing about. Find out more about how we're dedicated to our customers and communities at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
We're just digging out from under another big NFL Sunday today. Get ready for the Kings and the Nuggets with great anticipation. And then, like a green bolt from the sky, a story broke, as reported by Adam Schefter on X, that Mike Vick and Sac State were in discussions. As he said, they were in discussions to hire former Pro Bowl quarterback Mike Vick. What? Stunning. Then we heard from our next guest that, hold on, it may not be the case. And nice enough to join us now. And I think this is the first time we've had him on the show since he became a high school football Hall of Famer, Drapes. How about that?
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
From the Sacramento Bee, Joe Davidson. How are you today, Joe?
Whitey, always talk for years. I can't get to talk. I see him on the TV, I hear him on the radio. I hear him stunting everybody in trivia contests. I know, Drapes, you always guess a year, year too early. Yeah, and you try to guess maybe 7-2. That's when you don't have the answer. You just kind of, what year is close? I see how that goes. And
it's worked out for me.
Like Whitey Gleason. Whitey doesn't like to lose any of the contests, by the way.
Oh, I know that. He'll cheat too sometimes.
Oh, I with Whitey on when somebody's on vacation, and boy, he'll pace and he doesn't like to lose. He's a competitive guy. Probably that way he rides, pumping gas. He's just competitive. He's wired.
That's right. There you go. Joe, we appreciate your time. We're having a little bit of an issue with your phone, so we apologize. It was just cutting out a little bit there, but I think we're good now. So I just wanted to ask you what do we know and what do we think we know that maybe we don't know about Sac State and Mike Vick? What's going on exactly?
Well, I can confirm that Sacramento State football has had talks with Mike Vick. He's the former Pro Bowl quarterback. We all know him. He doesn't have any coaching experience. Sac State's also heard from an army of people, including, and I'll be able to report it on the record when this becomes official, including Heisman Trophy winners from the years past who would like to be considered for the Sac State coaching job. And so, Adam Schefter reporting that this is looking like a deal is still premature. But it's all.
You know what, Joe? I apologize. We'll have to. Yeah, we're just not quite able to make it out.
How about now?
What you're saying?
How about now?
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think,
Is that
Jay?
better?
You think is that?
Yeah, give it a shot.
Yeah, go ahead. And I apologize, but you were just cutting out.
that
That's very
better?
important information.
I probably had a bad there, but I could just repeat
Okay, go ahead.
It has spoken to Michael Vick, but it's not. They're talking to an army of people, and they've not decided on anybody. The job does close on Wednesday. It's a high-ranking Sac State official who's completely in the know. We updated the story on sacb.com, but any reports that they've decided is premature. It is. Are hearing from former Heisman Trophy winners about this. So that's stuff is on the radar.
Dang, Joe.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Joe, I'm sorry. Your phone keeps cutting out. I don't know if it's we apologize. I don't know, Jay, you let me know if you want to try again. Yeah. Jay's going to put you on hold for just a second. And then we'll see if we can sort that out. And I apologize to you, Joe. I know your time is very valuable, but wow. So Heisman Trophy winner interested.
Yeah.
Coming to Sac.
And one of the things I want to ask Joe when we get him back, it seems to me like this is a coveted job right now.
Yeah.
Like it seems to me like people are viewing this as, a job that is about to pop off, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's about to grow and become something.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking, and when you say Heisman Trophy winners, those are big names, Whitey. All right, Joe. Yeah. Joe, you back on with us now? You got us?
Hey, man, we can have technical issues, so my apologies on that.
No, don't. That's not no one's fault. No need to apologize.
We got to get the B to upgrade his cell plan. You're on that 2G
Exactly.
still out there, Joe.
Or stop standing under towers that don't jive with my cell phone or something.
Well, you did share with us that there's Heisman winners that are interested. That Sac State has not made a decision yet. So let me just ask you: is potentially then? People are so excited. As far as we know, is the door potentially open? And what's the timeline looking at like as far as a decision for Sac State?
Well, the job closes Wednesday. And so I did a big story in the Sacramento Bee on Sunday talking to athletic director Mark Orr. And he said, we've gotten a, quote, crazy amount of interest from NFL people, current NFL people, not Bill Belichick types, but, people who are on coaching staffs, FCS coaches, FBS coaches, offensive coordinators, those kind of things, local people across the country, former Heisman Trophy winners, guys who are doing TV. And it's important to note that Mike Vick has an NFL name, but he hasn't coached. He's an NFL analyst and is other Deion type of splash. Well, here's Deion Sanders has chops in that he has coached. I mean, he coached at Jackson State and then got the Colorado job. Michael Vick hasn't coached. So that I would be concerned about that if I'm a recruit or a booster coach or a fan. And there's a lot of offensive coordinators across the country who would jump at this job. They would take a job like this. And Troy Taylor did that, the homegrown Sacramento guy who in 2019, before the 2019 season, was hired by Mark Orr to head Sacramento State. And he was the quarterback from Sacramento and coached at Folsom High School. And he had taken, he took a big pay cut as the offensive coordinator at Utah of the Pac-12 back then to be Sac State's coach. So people will do those kind of things to get a chance to be a head coach. So Sac State's got a ton of interest, but is it going to be Mike Vick? I think a bit premature. I'm not sure if I'm sold on him personally. but we will see. I wrote in the Sacramento Bee this weekend, guys, that can Sac State afford to get a ladder coach, a guy who's trying to climb the ladder, or maybe they need to jump on that with this effort to try to get into the Pac-12 and NIL money and this and that. It's a critical hire for Sac State, and this whole NIL new development stuff. It's a totally thing. This isn't pure college football that we're used to for the FCS, mid-majors like Sac State and UC Davis. New year.
Hey, Joe, based on, your reporting and the things you're hearing, do you think Sac State is looking for a big name, a splash, somebody that can garner the headlines, garner the boosters, garner the NIL money? Is that a priority for them?
Absolutely. Sure. I think so, Kyle. And I think it's everybody all fired up. Was a big fire here locally, certainly. He's now the Stanford. If you get an offensive coordinator from UNLV, there's interest in the UNLV offensive coordinator, Mannion. He's not as big of a name as Mike. He's got experience. And I think that's important. It's vitally important.
Joe, I apologize. The phone is just cutting out, and we're losing out on important information you're sharing. So thank you. We appreciate it. We did get some insight
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Joe, for your time. Our apologies. Sacb.com for the latest on.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
All right, Joe.
No problem, Joe.
All right, man.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you for listening, and we'll definitely have you on again. Thank you, especially as this thing continues to unfold. So our apologies to you. Our apologies to Joe Davidson. Here's, by the way, what Schefter had to say about the whole thing. I wondered, was Schefter going to respond? Schefter says, Sac State President Luke Wood on his school's talks about his head coaching job with Michael Vick. Quote, he has expressed interest in the position. Yes, I did meet with him about his interest in Sac State football and our athletic rise. As you can imagine, given the success of our athletic programs, that our football head coaching job is an attractive role.
Okay.
So,
all right.
There's been talks, but nothing's nowhere near a done deal yet.
Yeah.
So,
And Schefter made it sound like Vick's camp approached them. Like he's expressed interest, and we have had a talk. And Joe Davidson said too, the last thing he talked about is they're looking to make a splash.
Yeah.
So it might not even be Vic, but it'll be somebody else that we know.
Might not be a big enough splash.
Right. It might be somebody big. Not Bill Belichick, but somebody just a little bit under that.
Thank you, Joe. We'll come right back. Take a look at what the first move of the NBA trade season means for your Kings next on Sacktown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
My whole identity had been wrapped up in being a soldier. To have that so violently ripped from me when I was wounded, I was lost for a very long time. When Wounded Warrior Project came into my life, being around the other warriors, people that had similar experiences that I did, it was a game changer for me. Having King join the group, that was the beginning of a really good friendship. It's a good time.
I first heard about Wounded Warrior Project through CQ. And at first I was kind of like, I don't know if I qualify. But having been a part of it, it's kind of taught me that it's not just the wounds that you can see, but it's those that you can't.
When you do something like a peer support group with Wounded Warrior Project and come together from different walks of life, man, the growth is incredible. If not for Wounded Warrior Project, I really don't think that I'd be here today.
See how we help warriors combat stigma at woundedwarriorproject.org/combat stigma.
Ready for winter? Forecasters are already predicting record sick days. Don't become a healthcare statistic. Fight sickness with fitness. Create a daily workout and stick to it. Let the Good Feet store help you meet your workout goals. With Good Feet arch supports, the pain in your feet, knees, hips, and back become history. And Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Visit goodfeet.com for an appointment or just stop in. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Play and win to take your loyalty to new heights at Sky River Casino. Sign up for Sky River Rewards, and you'll get $15 free play to use on your first visit. Plus, you'll be in the know about upcoming special events and offers. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun with rewards that add up and up. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. And now that the holidays are here, there is no better time than right now to head down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration is back from now through January 2nd. You may say, Kyle, what is the Holiday Love Celebration? Well, let me tell you, at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, you can discover exceptional offers on a new Mercedes-Benz, like the 2025 GLC 300 SUV. It's just $559 a month for 36 months. They also have a full lineup of SUVs, vans, electric vehicles, and of course, certified pre-owned vehicles with rates as low as 2.99% APR up to 72 months on select vehicles. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton believes in the true Mercedes car buying experience. So make the short drive down I-5 to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton and see what a true car buying experience is really about. Or of course, you can go online at mbofstockton.com.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective. A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor. At least my Swiffer Sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair's gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Kings and the Denver Nuggets tonight. That means Jokic coming to town. Russell Westbrook coming to town. The Nuggets have won a couple in a row. The Kings on a little bit of a winning push here with 4 wins in their last 5 games, getting back to 500. And in the West, I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted. Is that Russell Westbrook working out before the game? That's a little unusual to see the veterans out here this early. Anyway, in the West, every game's so crucially important. This is another big one tonight. The Kings obviously losing some games early in the season that they feel they should have won. you give up some of your margin for error here. So these games are even a little bit bigger than they normally would be. And we're also officially in the NBA trade season now. December 15th is when a lot of the players assigned as free agents are eligible to be traded. So trade season has begun. And yesterday, we got the first semi-major move of this trade season, finding out that Dennis Schroeder has been dealt from the Nets to the Golden State Warriors. It's interesting in that we talk a lot about whether a player fits a certain team. Draymond Green said he's not really a good fit for us. He doesn't really play the way we play, but that's okay. We need to adjust to him rather than him adjusting to us, because the Warriors, they've been struggling. Last night, I mean, they put up 133. They lost by 10.
Dude, what did they hit? 27 threes or 28 threes?
They had 21 and Dallas had 27.
Unbelievable, man. It's like, geez. But, regarding Dennis Schroeder, like Steph said today, I think it was either today or last night after the game, Schroeder just got that dog in him. That dog.
That hund.
That hound. Yes. Yeah. And so it's a nice little – and they didn't have to give up anything, Whitey. Melton wasn't going to play the rest of the season. Second round draft picks, what's that? That could be hit or miss. And so a solid move for them. Solid move. You already talked about that guy, right?
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see him out there.
That's this early, huh?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He's an early guy. Yeah.
Russell Westbrook working on some post-up moves and foul shooting. And I apologize if I'm wrong. I thought you were something of a Thomas Bryant guy.
Oh, I love.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. He had one big game against us, and it was like, man, we need to get that guy. This was when he was with the Lakers a few years ago. I think he had like 27 against us or something.
Because he got dealt from to the Indiana Pacers, so that was another move.
Nice little move for them. Because Wiseman wasn't working out. He was injured, I think.
Injured, yeah.
So, no, I like Thomas Bryant, man, as a good backup center. And so the trade season has begun.
Yes.
It has begun.
'Tis the season.
Yes.
And I think, it's so congested in the West and even in the East. I mean, there's not a lot of winning teams there, but it's pretty close. Teams look at what Dallas did last year, as we've said a million times, and they realize there's an opportunity there to get better right now.
Right.
You could change the complexion of your entire season. Who knows? You could end up in the finals.
Exactly. And that's the thing. We saw it last year with Dallas. A couple of moves, and then bam, they catch on like wildfire, and we know the Kings are out there looking. I think it was it Evan Sidery who reported that, Sacramento is one of the more active teams out there. And so we know those guys are doing their due diligence and turning over, every stone that's out there. But ultimately, it has to make sense, right? It's, trust me. We would all love to get Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith. Who else you want to throw out there?
Let's take Kuzma.
Kuzma also, right? We want them all. But, it takes a lot to get a lot. And, also, too, you got to look at it, too, Whitey. Not you. I'm just talking in general. The cap situation in terms of flexibility going forward. I don't think the luxury tax will, hold this team back from – pursuing a player and trying to get a championship. I know they're going to go all in for it, but it has to also, you look at a team like Denver, they don't have any picks going forward, not much cap flexibility. And so they're sort of hamstrung. And so I do think Monty and Wes and those guys, like the flexibility. They don't want to do anything that, hamstrings them for years to come, let's say 2, 3, 4 years.
I heard might have been somebody texting into Alan and Kyle today, and someone said, boy, if the Kings lose out on Cam because they don't want to give up a first-round pick, that would be terrible. On the other hand, and I love Cam Johnson, you know that, I'm not sure I want to trade any of my first-round picks going forward because I feel like I'm going to need them.
All right. Why? So what year are we in here? What's this, 2024? It's about to have 2025 draft. How good do you think the Kings, like, where do you think the fall off is going to occur?
I don't know. But it's going to come at some point, isn't it? Only because it comes to everyone.
Well, here's the thing, too.
So it sounds like you're saying you are willing to move off of some first round capital, maybe a significant amount if you have to.
Yeah, because I also think teams, like, I'm not doing a deal like Minnesota did for Gobert or the Knicks did for Mikal Bridges.
Yeah,
I ain't
right.
giving up 3 picks
Right.
and all that.
I could give up 1.
Yeah, but if you give up 1 for an Aaron Gordon type player, somebody that could put you over the hump.
Would you give up 1 for Cam? And you'd also have to give up, to match the salary. So you'd have to give up something along the line, salary matching wise, of Herder, Lyles, and number 1 for Cam. Maybe
Yeah,
get
probably not. No, that's too rich. That's too rich for my blood. And so, but man, Westbrook's done, huh? He just sprinted off the floor just like that. He's done. No,
he
but
made 4 threes in a row.
Okay. Hey, he's actually shooting halfway decent this year, from 3. But I look at it like this way. Whoever we get, our top 6, when healthy, I think is very solid. It's who's the 7th man, 8th man, 9th man, depth pieces.
Right.
Like a guy I brought up a while ago, and I'm going to bring him up again as saying a guy that, I like. And this is just me talking here. And I need to check and see how healthy he is right now. But I'm a Kelly Olynyk guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge Kelly Olynyk guy. He's only played a handful of games, 3 games. So obviously the injury situation, you got to kick the tires on it and figure out. But in terms of a offensive ball mover, a guy that can knock down the 3, a backup center kind of thing, and a guy that you could play alongside Domantas Sabonis in terms of offensively, like I like, and so I'm looking at players of that kind of level,
So
not the Cam Johnsons or Kuzmas of the world.
You're willing to assume some risk in order to not have to give up a lot necessarily.
Right.
You're willing to assume some of that risk for guys that are maybe older or just.
How about Time Lord, Robert Williams?
Oh, we all love him.
How much you give up a first rounder?
No, just because of the injuries.
Because of injuries, right?
Yeah. If he's healthy and everything, he's probably worth it. And also, how much is he going to play on my team? He's going to play.
Yeah, he's going to play.
Is he going to play enough to be worth a first rounder?
Larry Nance. Remember we brought him up last
Junior
week?
or senior?
Right, junior.
I'll take him both.
Seniors probably could still dunk. He probably could still dunk. Senior, but junior. I mean, that's to me the level I'd be looking at. It not necessarily a top 6.
Can those guys make enough of a difference to vault you solidly into the top 6?
But Whitey, we're not looking for the home run. We looking for singles here.
I know,
Just
but we want to
bits
be
and
out of the
pieces.
play-in, don't we?
But
you're adding pieces.
Yeah, but one player ain't going to do it. In terms of you add a Nance, then you add another shooter, and then you're talking you go 9 deep, something like that. I actually don't feel like we're that far off right now from being the top 6. If you ask me, we can look at the standings. Kings only 2 games away from the 5th spot, if I'm correct. You know what? A game and a half behind the 5th spot. Denver's right now holding that 5th, right? Is that correct?
Yeah,
let me make sure
I believe so.
Did I
Check that
update
today,
my?
Got to win all these home games, not all these, but most of these home games.
Yeah, Denver's 5th. You're a game and a half behind them. So you get this win, then you're a half game behind them. Come on now, Whitey.
Yeah.
We're almost there. Oh, Whitey's special delivery for you, big fella.
Oh, thanks.
Whitey's popcorn of the day.
I appreciate it.
I tell you, man.
Thanks.
Dude, why your phone so big, James? That thing is massive, dude. Garage door opener or something. You got a laptop as a phone.
I have an interesting stat. I'm sure you discussed it.
Hold on, man. All right, real quick, because we're on radio right now.
Yeah.
I know you probably
James' stat of the day.
record-setting
Threes last night.
Yeah,
So
Warriors.
There are 24 times.
Come on, spit it out, big fella.
Has made 26 or more threes.
24 times.
Right.
26 or more threes.
The Warriors,
First team to loss.
one of only 2 teams to have lost.
Don't tell me the Kings are another.
No, but the Kings were involved.
Warriors,
No, the Clippers in the
70.
170.
There we go.
Boom, boom, boom. My
Jake's
guy.
back to the day.
Where you find that
Yeah.
at, man? You doing some research?
Oh, with
Okay,
that-
all
thank you,
right, James.
Thank you.
Popcorn and research.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's brought to you by the Blue Diamond Almonds. that
Yeah,
James,
Blue Diamond Almonds
brought.
here.
Yeah, we're going to take a real quick time out. Come out with Mark Haynes from the Sacramento Observer.
Our guy.
What are his views on the deadline deals to come and tonight's game? We'll find out next on Sacktown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-881-4242, 800-881-4242.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more. And then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
Coming to you from, of course, the Golden One, getting ready for the Kings and the Nuggets. Drapes is really bullish on these Sacramento Kings, the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, I feel like they've like unlocked what's been ailing them. Like, you know, and it hasn't been many changes in terms of what they're running and everything. It's just the guys are executing and connected. They're on the string together. You know what I mean? It's and the same way you can have negative momentum, you can have positive momentum. And I feel like, you know what? They're riding that right now. This would be a massive one tonight, too, with the Lakers coming up twice.
Let's see if our next guest shares those sentiments. He is the Sacramento Kings beat reporter for the Sacramento Observer. We see him at the arena all the time. Not the first time we've had him on. Mark Haynes joining us on the drive, guys. Mark, I apologize, Mark. I just got a piece of popcorn.
See, that's why I don't eat
my
popcorn
throat. I
anymore.
apologize.
James trying to choke you up over here. You know what I mean, with the popcorn.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, Mark. Do you think the Kings are going to keep it rolling tonight?
You know, this is they have a really good opportunity too. Obviously, you know, the Denver Nuggets are a really good team, and the Kings have struggled this season with, you know, showing up against good teams. And but with all the, you know, I was talking on my podcast yesterday. The last 5 games, you know, they're 3-2, but they played pretty well. You know, they played pretty good. The last 3 games, they've been amazing. They've been against, you know, teams that are not so good. I'll say it that way. But as long as they go out there and, you know, play the way they've been playing, it gives them a really good shot, especially with the momentum they got going. The playing at home, they're going to be at home for a long time. You know, just past Christmas. So this is a really good time, and it's a really important time of this season. I think they have a chance to do it.
Mark, hold on now. You can't just be dropping. You got a dude. Plug your podcast. What's the name of it? Where can people find it?
My bad. It's the Believe in Kings podcast. I jumped on with the Believe podcast network. So yeah, I got a Sacramento Kings podcast talking all Kings basketball, and you know, you could catch me either you go hear me saying a lot of things wrong or a lot of things right. It's one or the other.
All right. Now let's get back to bass. I wanted to give you some love, big fella. Just trying to give you some love. You talk about these last 5 games, man. How sustainable is what we're seeing? Like, have you seen enough, or do you need to see some more?
So the thing I like about it is, really the only person who hasn't really shot the ball decently in the last 5 games is De'Aaron Fox. And you're not worried about De'Aaron Fox going through the same type of slumps that, Keegan Murray or Kevin Huerter or those guys, have been through, where they go on long slumps. And all this season, I don't know if we even call it a slump, but, these struggles. And De'Aaron Fox, he's going to get it going at some point. And I actually expect him to have a big night tonight, because they're going to need a big night from him to get past Denver. But I think, for the most part now, scoring 140 points and, shooting lights out, I don't expect that, moving forward. I don't know how sustainable this team is to shoot the ball as well as they've been doing, but they should have been shooting the ball better than they've been shooting all season. Mm-hmm. All season they've been shooting. Everybody was career lows, and I don't expect that to continue.
Mark Haynes with us from the Believe in Kings podcast, and
there you go.
Observer. Yeah. In your views, Mark,
sorry about that.
Yeah, we don't need to get into any particulars as far as names, unless you want to. But how urgent do you think the Kings' need is to make some kind of move or moves here as the deadline approaches?
I think they should be on the phone calling people, and it's you have to figure out a way to give Mike Brown a bench that he believes he can play, because you have, a lot of guys. It's a lot of guys getting DNPs. It's a lot of guys that's, just holding on to a roster spot, on a, every other night, and that the starting lineup is something that, nobody is complaining about, because we see the type of talent they have in the starting 5, especially with putting Malik in the starting 5. With the rest of the guys. But when you go to the bench, it just don't seem like Mike Brown is comfortable with playing a lot of those guys consistently and for big minutes. And the starters, they're going to need rest. So I think you have to figure out, I'm not sure, who I would say you have to, dangle out there or whatever, but
sure, something
needs to happen in order for this team to be as good as they want to be.
That was, by the way, that was very, it was very artfully said there. Very diplomatically said. I don't think Mike is comfortable with his. That's very well done.
That's a wordsmith right there. That's our guy, Mark. That's our guy, Mark. Hey, with that being said, Mark, like, let's say Keegan can't go. You tonight, no Kevin Huerter. Like, it's an opportunity for guys, right? Like, who are you looking at tonight as hopefully taking that opportunity and running with it?
A guy that I've been really, big on, he's been surprising me throughout this whole time whenever he gets minutes. And I know a lot of people, automatically going to say Keon Ellis. But Isaac Jones, man, I really like Isaac Jones when he's out on the court. Obviously, he's, a rookie. He makes mistakes, which rookies are going to make mistakes. But I feel like his motor. I feel like the Kings need a guy that has a high motor, that's just kind of going out there. He could be reckless at times, but he's going to crash the board. He's going to defend. He's going to, give you he could give you a highlight dunk like he did down in Stockton last night. And, I think this is a really good opportunity for a guy like Isaac Jones. But really, it's a great opportunity. If Keegan is out, Kevin is out, no Trey Lyles, this is a great opportunity for a lot of guys. And this is, if you could step up right now, as we've seen, in the past with Keon, if you step up when the Kings need you to, and when Mike needs you to, that's going to go a long way, moving forward. Mm-hmm. You can find yourself playing big minutes every night if you have a quick little stint tonight. So But I look at Isaac though.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mark Haynes with us from the Sacramento Observer. You've been watching the Kings a long time, obviously. I'm going to ask you a question that I don't know if anyone knows the answer to, so I don't mean to put you on the spot, but why in the world do the Kings not play better at home? I think they're, 6-7 this year.
Mm-hmm.
What in the world do they have to do to start taking advantage or start to establish a home court advantage?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I think the first year the beam was like a thin light. And then last year it was 3? They added 3 or 4 more lights or whatever. Maybe they need to make the beam brighter. Maybe that'll get them more.
There's the answer.
He's being honest there. He's like, yeah, we gotta boost the wattage on that beam, no doubt.
Yeah, they should have all the motivation they need. This is a great opportunity to get on the winning side of things and not be below 500. You could get well above 500 in this next stretch, but getting past Denver is going to be tough.
I was going to ask you about that. Oh, sweet. We got cookies delivered. Shout out to Mr. Doug delivering some chocolate chip cookies to us. I was going to
finish my popcorn first.
Yeah, we got dude, I tell you what, you got popcorn, you got Blue Diamond almonds, you got a little bit of everything going on over there. I was going to ask you about this Denver team, man. 13-10, I believe they are tonight. Jamal Murray's back playing. He's played better over his last 5. Give me a key for tonight, man. Well, how do is it just one of our guys got to have a big game, whether it's De'Aaron or DeMar, or are you looking for something else tonight?
I think, when you playing against Denver and the Joker, man, it's always going to be a team effort. And, I think defense is the key tonight. I know it's an offensive league. I know everybody has the ability to score a lot of points, but it's going to be trying to figure out a way to slow down the Joker, to try to keep him away from a triple-double, which is, I know that's pretty much impossible, but it's going to be figuring out if you could slow him down. If you could slow him down just a tad, I think you give yourself a shot, but I am probably asking for the undoable.
All right, Mark. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you out here in a little bit. Thanks for your time, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Mark. Don't forget that Believe in Kings podcast.
Yes. I'll be checking that out.
When we come back, we'll look at a trade rumor / report that I just saw. Based on what we've been hearing over the last few weeks and months from Kings fans, I think a lot of Kings fans are going to be interested in this one.
Okay.
We're right back with that from the Golden One on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Damp with patches of fog Tuesday morning. We'll see some clearing through the afternoon with a good amount of sunshine. Temperatures starting in the low 40s, ending in the upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
DC here, and if you've been thinking about a new car, don't miss year-end savings at Folsom Lake Kia. Hurry in for low payments and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
The holidays can be tough for some, especially if things from your past are still following you around to this day. Now, don't be afraid of your past this upcoming holiday season, as an expungement can help. And that's where the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez comes in, as he's local and has a great track record. Now that expungement can help you get a job, get your life back in order, and you'll also get your constitutional rights back. He's offering discounts on expungements now through Christmas. Call 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right, sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. And get this, Napoleon Grill's Black Friday Cyber Mondays include a limited time $300 off their top-selling Phantom Grill and 15% off all gas, kettle, and travel grills. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last. Complete with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Whitey and Napoleon Grills wish you happy holidays. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
At Makita, good enough is never enough. It's not just about the power and runtime of the tool. It's about the power and runtime of the pro. We design, tinker, redesign, and obsess over every detail because we know the pros will too. Straight cuts, tight tolerances, clean lines. Again and again and again. If it's not right, don't put your name on it. Makita, available at the Home Depot.
Get huge year-end savings on the all-new 2025 Silverado now at Maida Chevy.
With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates on select new 2025 half-ton Silverado LT and RST.
And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area.
$8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Now available with special financing lease in some of their offices.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
I think a lot of Kings fans are going to like this.
All right. Let's hear it.
Nothing has happened. It's more about a player that his team is making available. Evan Sidery, our buddy, and he just had this, I don't know, last 20 minutes or so. Evan Sidery. The Bucks have gauged the trade market on Bobby Portis to find rotational upgrades. With Milwaukee over the second apron, they can't take back salaries totaling more than Portis's $12.6 million. Portis averaging 13.1 points, 7.7 rebounds while shooting 36.7% on threes. I believe for a lot of Kings fans, he's been a dream target.
Yeah, and they can't take back more than his 12.6?
12.6 million.
Okay. I like Bobby Portis. Is he in the final year of his deal?
I'm not sure. I have to check on that.
All right. Okay. As you know, I'm a big Bobby Portis.
Yes,
fan.
Terry Reynolds also.
Yeah. I like Bobby Portis. I like his toughness. I like his skill set. He can stretch the floor a little bit. He can rebound, kind of a dog out there on the court. And no, this is a guy, I'm interested. I like his game. Let me look at some of his numbers. 13.1 points. How about 7.7 rebounds?
Yeah,
Just 24 minutes of play.
Pardon me. I'm sorry. I think he started very slowly this year.
Yeah.
So those numbers are decent. So that means he's been playing well lately.
Yeah. He's been playing well lately. And then how about this too, Whitey? Just looking at 10 points last game, 22 and 10 the game before that, 23 the game before that. And music to your ears, this year, 36.7% three-point shooter. Last year, 40.7 from three.
Mm-hmm.
So he can knock down that outside shot too.
He's under contract this year, and then There's a player option, and then the following year he'd be an unrestricted free agent.
Okay.
So
okay.
he could opt out.
But to me, Bobby Portis is the kind of move a la Gafford, PJ Washington, mid-season that sort of changes the, how should I put this? The identity of your team, but in a good way.
The complexion.
He's
better than, I agree with you, and he's better.
And he's better than those guys. You know, you look at Dallas last year, they were a good team, but they weren't known for their defense. They weren't known for their grit.
Right.
And then you add a Gafford and you add a PJ, and now they're barking at you. They're doing this and that. And, you know, that's how Bobby Portis is also. And so, no, I've always been a fan of Bobby Portis, man. I think he's a nice player.
Could you see the Bucks looking at the Kings? And I know where you're coming from on this. You don't have to mention any names, but could you see them going, oh, yeah, there's a rotational upgrade for us on their roster? That's where I'm not so sure.
I think they need shooting out there in Milwaukee, but you also got to look at they're in the win now mode too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're not interested in the pick.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They want players that can help them right now. And I don't know if we have that or not, but you know, I do know, like, when you're in the NBA, you got to pick up the phone and talk to everybody. Like you're all these names out here, Whitey. You got to be in touch. You got to be engaged. Like, what's it going to take? What's it going to, you know, how much, you know, everything. Like the conversations are constantly flowing out there. And right now it's all just speculation, though. Like, this is what trade silly season is, you know. We hop on our laptops, and I'm not going to do it today, but we get on our ESPN trade machine and, oh, this will work. Got to make it happen. And so there's so many factors that go into it.
There's also a new trade machine. Is it Spotrac or somebody else has?
They got one?
It's a little, and they're working on it. They keep posting things that say, let us know.
Really?
Yeah, and I think it might be a little more advanced.
No way. All right.
I think I tried it once and I couldn't figure it out, but ESPN trade machine is not the only trade machine out.
No, get out of here.
We have to have our buddy, if Jay can arrange it, Keith Smith on, because I think he's talked about it.
A Spotrac NBA trade machine. Here it is.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah. Is this it right here?
Spotrac.
Spotrac.
Remember, Keith told us it was Spotrac.
Is that what he? That's crazy. Theirs don't look as nice as ESPN,
right?
But you know, it's and I'm not a trade machine guy.
You always tell us that because every time you go on the trade machine.
Because I'm not, man. It's not my thing.
Guy. You're not a trade machine guy.
I don't deal in, well, will it work or not? And you know. And yeah, I'm not even going to do this. Right
Who brought it up? Who brought it up?
I did. It's my fault. It's my fault. It's my bad.
Here's what I don't like. You know, we're hearing a lot of rumors, and sometimes they're interesting, and most of them are nothing. But when trade rumors are just being recycled, this was Mark Stein yesterday on Substack. Okay. Yesterday. Sacramento, meanwhile, is routinely described as one of the league's more aggressive teams in search of an upgrade, with the contracts of Kevin Huerter and Trey Lyles widely known to be available. We knew that. Going back to last year.
And he said what? Mark Stein said what?
He said Sacramento, meanwhile, is routinely described as one of the league's most aggressive teams in search of an upgrade, with the contracts of Kevin Huerter and Trey Lyles widely known to be available from the Kings. That was like 2 weeks ago.
So you're saying he's not breaking news? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And maybe it's not his fault, whoever aggregated that. But that's just you can't recycle trade rumors. You can only run a trade rumor once.
When you ain't got nothing else going on, it's like,
yeah, but I mean,
he probably got it set for every 2 weeks. Put this out there every 10 days. Let me throw this back out there. I will say this. We still a couple of months away, almost 2 months away. I can't wait till the trade deadline comes and goes. I feel like the trade deadline is sort of like free agency, where we just throwing out names.
Right.
You know, oh, this guy, that guy. I need something actually concrete, like, oh, it happened. Now let's dive into what it means for the team.
But there are guys out there, based on what we are pretty sure we know. We know it because we heard Dennis Schroeder was available, and guess what? He got traded. So there are guys who would help the Kings.
Right.
So and you've made this point. You know that Monty right now is looking at all these things.
Oh, yeah.
It's one thing for us to go, gee, I think I'd be interested in that guy. And he's probably had conversations to some degree on every one of these guys.
And maybe even some guys we haven't even heard about yet.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? It's I agree. Like, some of those names, they are intriguing to me. But I don't want to get the fans' hopes up. Traves, how come they didn't do this? We know, like you said earlier, methodical is Monty's way. And here's the thing too about Monty. Nobody saw that Tyrese Halliburton trade coming. Nobody saw that coming. And so, if something happens, we're going to talk about it, obviously, but some of those names, Bobby Portis, he would probably be at the top of my list.
Yeah, it's just so funny. And you just made the point, what you'd have to give up to get him. It's a totally different scenario and situation than it is than, say, Cam. Cam seems like we don't want to be very good.
Right.
We need draft capital. And the Bucks are like, we need a player who's going to make us better
somebody now
than we are with Bobby Portis.
Yeah.
So that could be tough to fill that need.
Yeah, and I don't even know, with the Bucks, like because Middleton's in and out of the lineup, he's banged up, and he's sick now, might not play tomorrow in the Cup game. According to reports, like they need a third guy. Who's going to step in there and be their third guy?
Mm-hmm.
So they're giving away a bench player, a 6-man, if you will, for probably another starter in their opinion.
Yeah, and they need rotational help, and they need to take back no more than 12.6. I got a couple guys. I got a few guards on my roster that I might be able to. You need guard help? I think I can help you out.
Yeah. Who you saying?
I don't want to say their name.
See, I'm not going there, man. I'm not going there.
One of them rhymes with Neon Bellis.
I don't know.
He's one of my favorites, but if I can get Bobby Portis.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know.
I'll get league pass and watch you play in Milwaukee.
That's it. You messed up, man. You ready to trade our guys,
I want to win. And they can't be serious, in my opinion, about really being a good team that wins a lot of games this year unless they do something. And I think they know that.
So if nothing happens,
that's not good. If nothing happens, that's not good, in my opinion.
If nothing happens and this team
play in time,
dude, rattles off 12 wins in a row, finishes third in the West, you still upset?
I don't think that would happen if you don't make a move. If I'm wrong and it does happen, great.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Great. I think it's more likely that happens if you make a move. Just my opinion.
Well, I think also, Whitey, when we talk about, Mike Brown and the substitutions, we haven't seen everybody whole. So, for instance, let's say Kevin Huerter's healthy. Let's say Trey Lyles is healthy. Keon Ellis. You're talking 7-8 deep right there.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen Mike play Trey Lyles 15, 20 minutes a game. We talk so much about our bench, and I get it. We want to be able to sustain some of these injuries, not, be like, oh, who do we go to now? But if you throw Trey Lyles in, we going a strong 7 deep with Lyles and Kevin Huerter. Throw Keon in that. That's a solid. Not saying, it wouldn't be nice to improve and have better depth and more guys, but I think I need to see it a little bit more too. I'm not willing to write off some of these guys that I haven't seen in a minute.
There's also this part of it. If you got, let's say that Mark Stein is right, and they're looking to move Huerter and Trey Lyles. Both those guys now, Huerter with the bad shoulder.
Yeah.
Trey Lyles has had lower body injuries, a number of years consecutively. That makes those guys a little harder to move. So you may not be able to, even if you want. Teams might, their interest might be tempered just because of the injuries.
Right.
Yeah. We're going to get to the bottom of the Mike Vick situation. We have more tweets today from
everybody's tweeting about this.
Yeah.
Thing.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can figure out where we are, what it all means when we come back to the Golden One Center on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. It's Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Good Guys Heating and Cooling. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Alter the Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hobla Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the Wrap Up the Year sales event?
Well, I can't believe we made this work. I had to double check to make sure it was legit. But right now you can lease a new 2024 Dodge Hornet RT plug-in for as low as $5 a month plus tax for 24 months with $49.95 due at signing.
Sorry, I must have misheard you. Did you say $5 a month?
I know, it's crazy. But for less than the cost of a cup of coffee each month, you can be driving around a brand new Dodge Hornet. But this $5 a month deal can't last long.
Yeah, I can see why. If you want a new car with a monthly payment half the price of a fast food meal, you better hurry into Hoblet Dodge in Woodland. Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection, nobody beats Hoblet, period. $5 for 24-month lease offer before tax and license. Must be a California West Business Center resident. Rebates include $6,500 SFS hybrid electric federal tax credit, subject to change without notice, and $2,500 West BC lease cash. $49.95 due at signing. 10,000 miles per year with 30-cent fee per mile over. Tax and license extra. For this net savings, sample VIN A13914. See dealer for details.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay, things people love.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
One of the stories that we've been dealing with all day long, if you're a fan, you've been dealing with it too, the Mike Vick to Sac State story, which started before our show with a tweet from Adam Schefter that Sac State and Michael Vick were in discussions. And then we had Joe Davidson, who was nice enough to join our show. He suggested no decision has been made yet. Then we had Schefter. He followed up and said they've talked to Mike Vick. I think even the university president said that they've had discussions.
Yeah. Dr. Luke Wood tweeted out, Vick and I did meet about Sac State football and our athletic rise. As you can imagine, given the success of our athletic program, that our football head coach job is an attractive role. Announcements on several major decisions coming soon. Dr. Wood said so.
Okay.
All
so
right.
he really didn't say one way or the other than, we've talked to him.
Yeah, we've talked.
And as Joe said, the deadline, they want to have something done Wednesday.
By Wednesday, it closes up. Yeah.
So it's still a possibility, right? I mean, that's.
Oh, yeah.
I think
I didn't read anything that said, Vick's not in the running or we've moved on or anything like that. No, 100%. 100%. It still could possibly happen. Looking at some of the no new tweets from Dr. Wood. That was 33 minutes ago. 33 minutes.
Isn't it incredible how much the dynamic has changed where Mike Vick, who has never coached, is considered, not only is he considered a candidate, but he's considered a very good candidate for this job.
Like legitimate, right?
Yes,
like he
because
goes
of
from
the fundraising capabilities that a guy.
I don't even know what's Vic been up to. What, just some TV work recently, right?
I'm not sure. Jay may know. I'm not sure.
And
he's talking to Virginia Commonwealth about a coaching job.
Oh, VCU too. Okay. Yeah, it's Norfolk State, right?
Norfolk State.
Norfolk State. Yeah, Norfolk State.
Right.
And so, man, that's what it's about, man. Is shoot, even Belichick in North Carolina. You know, we know he's a tremendous coach, but you got to get a name also. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. And I will say, Vic in Sac State, man, that would create a lot of buzz, not just around here, but nationally, national media. We had Joe Davidson on, and he talked about former Heisman Trophy winners being interested.
That's right, which
in the
he
job.
says he'll be sharing soon.
Yeah, sharing soon. So it's an attractive job, man. And you're right. It's not about X's and O's anymore. That's not the top priority. It's, you know, all right, can you bring in the dollars? Can you bring in the recruits? And, you know, we'll see if Mike Vick, if he gets the job, can do that. But I think it's, even if it's not Vic, the fact that high profile guys are considering this job, I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing.
It'll be interesting to see after we know what's what and after the dust settles where that came from and whether it was actually a good thing or a bad thing for Sac State that it came out, you know?
Right.
On the surface, it looks like, wow, that's great. But if someone was trying to leverage them against some other school or something,
right, that's kind of,
yeah, and it sounds like
being used.
They've handled it very well, I think, to this point. But again, we're not sure what's going on, and maybe he in fact will be the head coach.
Well, I just remember, you know, I brought up earlier Dan Hurley, you know, and the Lakers situation. Ultimately, he stays with UConn for you know, a raise. Lakers had some egg on their face, like they were sort of the laughing stock at the time. It's like, dang, you can't even get a college coach. Dan Hurley used you, and we don't want Sac State to be in that position. And you know, it's but it's not just Vic though. That's the thing. According to Joe's, it's other people we probably are familiar with name wise, which is encouraging to me.
Yeah. So big things coming one way or the other for Sac State, UC Davis, and for the Kings tonight, taking on the Denver Nuggets. We touched a little bit earlier here on what's going on with the 49ers, and Devondre Campbell has been officially, it's official now, he's suspended. But looking big picture NFL drapes, you know, it was a short time ago that I think most people, I know I felt like us, Chiefs and the Lions are ahead of the Super Bowl. Right now,
either one of those guys, right?
Yeah.
Mahomes is banged up. Got the ankle situation.
High ankle sprain,
Lions decimated, what you say, 11
13 defensive players. Yeah. Either on IR or out for the rest of the season.
I got to check the odds on the Super Bowl if they've moved in the last 24 hours. Like, who are the top two teams? Is it Philly and Buffalo right now? Maybe?
I would guess.
Let me check it out. BetMGM is where we go, right? That's our odds maker of choice.
Did you see what Dan Campbell did yesterday?
With the onside kick?
Yes. What'd you think? What, down 10, 12 minutes to go, fourth quarter, and they onside kick, which again, by the rule, you can't do it to try to surprise someone because you have to declare that you're going to do it. And he came out today and said, yeah, it might have been yesterday after the game. Yeah, if I had it to do over again, I wouldn't do it. What'd you make of that?
No, I thought it was an awful decision. I thought it was.
Can we say asinine?
Yeah. Because what was it? 10 point? 10. Yeah, 10-point game.
And a lot of time. Most of the fourth quarter.
Tons of time. And I understand your defense been getting shredded. But like they said on ESPN today, it's like, all right, would you rather your defense have to defend 70 yards or 5 yards? You know,
it's really hard to get the ball.
Right. That's the thing. Like those onside kicks, I think somebody said it was like a 3% chance of you getting it, especially under these new rules where you got to let them know. So they're prepared for it. It's like you're not catching it. It just, he overthought that one. He was overthinking that one, and it came back to bite him.
I do think that the NFL, supposedly they've talked about this, they should look at that. And if you're going to have an onside kick at all, the element of surprise has to be part of it. And I understand they want us to think they care about player safety. And yet, you know, we got to make sure the players are safe. And then you got teams playing like, you know, three days apart, whatever it is. You really care. But if you're going to have an onside kick, there's got to be an element of surprise to it. There has to be.
Yes, that's, you know, and that's why, what was it? Sean Payton that did it coming out of the half
in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, in the
against
Super Bowl.
The Colts.
Like, because that you're thinking there's no way it's going to be an onside kick, and then bam.
Yeah.
You know, that's why. And I was thinking, Whitey, as watching that yesterday, should the rule be changed though, where you got to let you like, so we can get back the element of surprise.
Right. You have to take that out.
Yeah, you got to take that out.
you can still onside kick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know it's really difficult now because of the way they line up, but sorry, that has to be addressed.
Here's the thing too, and I think this is the reason why they added that in, because the receiving team can't move.
Yeah.
So if it's an onside kick, you're really like, shoot, like it's, and so they got to tweak that though. They got, because I feel like the onside kick is an exciting part of the game.
Have you heard some of the alternatives, I guess I should say, to that rule that have been talked about, where like you get a 4th and 15 from your own 15 or something like that? So it's like, we're going to onside kick. All right, here's the thing. You get the ball at your own 15-yard line. You get 15 yards. If you make it, you keep the ball and you get a first down. But if you don't, the other team
turns over right there.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tough. I wouldn't want to do that, right?
It's well, I mean, you probably have a better chance of picking up a 4th and 15 than you would of picking up the onside kick.
But like if you're Dan Campbell,
he'd do it all the time.
But I'm saying, you don't get it, then you're turning it over right there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I got the odds real quick. I got the updated odds to win the Super Bowl. Lions plus 400.
Lions are not winning the Super Bowl.
Right.
Their defense is not good enough.
I'm just going by BetGM.
Right.
MGM. Bills plus 425. Philadelphia Eagles, the third choice, plus 450. And the Chiefs plus 550.
There's so many injuries this year, it's kind of foolish to bet now.
Yeah.
Because who knows what's going to happen.
But you wouldn't bet on the Lions for sure.
I wouldn't. And if they were healthy, I sure would. But
plus 185 to win the NFC. Eagles plus 200.
Yeah, that's why Dan Campbell keeps doing these crazy things, going for it on 4th and 2 and onside kick with 12 minutes left, because he knows his defense can't stop it.
Yeah, he knows it, right?
They don't have enough guys.
Damn. Right. I mean, what they score 42 and you still lose the game yesterday. It's and who they got the Niners coming up in a couple weeks, right? 2 weeks.
I like the Niners in that.
I know. Hey, I will say you can still get the Niners at plus. Is that 100,000?
I'm in.
10,000.
I'm in.
I think plus 100,000. My gosh.
I think this Devondre Campbell thing is gonna just energize.
Yeah. Right. You saying there's a chance?
By the way, Josh Allen now, according to the writers who actually select the MVP, they say that a lot of the writers say the MVP award is Josh Allen's to win or lose, they say.
I think it is.
Yeah.
He's doing some pretty.
Sorry about that. I know you were hoping Saquon.
No, yeah, but it's hard for a running back. And when you think about it too, a running back is at the mercy of the quarterback and the offensive coordinator, and everything. Quarterback touches the ball every time.
Yeah.
So Josh Allen, he's doing it with even though Lamar Jackson.
I was going to mention.
You see
Lamar
some
Jackson.
Of the numbers he's putting up.
Yeah.
3 interceptions. And a lot of them weren't even his fault. Like he's having his best season ever.
I know.
But Josh
don't
Allen,
count him out yet.
Yeah, don't count him out.
Maybe my 49ers can.
Next year.
Yeah. All right. We come back to the Gold One Center. Get you ready for the Kings and the Nuggets. Tell you how the Kings are not who we thought they were, but that might not be a bad thing. Next on Sacktown Sports.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Even if you've tried before and were unsuccessful in getting rid of your timeshare, call today and see if we can help. We offer a complete 100% unconditional client satisfaction guarantee. Make this completely free call and learn how we can help you legally put an end to your timeshare nightmare once and for all. You have nothing to lose, so call right now to qualify and receive a free consultation.
Call 800-838-8614. 800-838-8614. That's 800-838-8614.
Paid for by Airtime Media.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop.
Here's Frank LaRosa.
Most people know that the term birdie in golf refers to a score of 1 under par, but where did the term originate? According to Scottish Golf History website, it comes from the early 20th century American slang term bird, which meant anything excellent. While a 1911 edition of Maclean magazine described a golf shot as bird straight down the course about 215 yards, the country club in Atlantic City lays claim to the first use of the word birdie. In 1898, A.B. Smith was playing the par 4 second hole when his second shot went within inches of the hole. That was a bird of a shot, he said, and claimed he should get double money if he scored 1 under par. He did indeed hold his putt, and the group thereafter referred to such a score as a birdie. In 1913, acclaimed writer Bernard Darwin wrote in the September issue of Country Life of his visit to America. He explained that it takes a day or two for the English onlooker to understand that a birdie is a hole done in a stroke under par. And now you know. That's Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Hi. I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer & Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust, along with my entire team. I have been helping accident survivors recover compensation for their injuries for 25 years, and we can help you. There is no charge for calling. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
Seasons change, but if you hope to stay healthy, your body needs to stay active year-round, whether that's in the gym or on the trail or at work, and that's where the Good Feet store can help. Good Feet's personalized arch support system supports all 4 arches, relieving pain in your feet, knees, hips, and back. And Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Visit goodfeet.com for an appointment or stop in for a free fitting. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
The most wonderful time of the year has officially begun at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet in Sacramento. This is the sale you've been dreaming of, with holiday hits on every aisle. 12 full days of unbeatable prices on only the best Makita products in town, and much, much more. Free batteries with tools, free tools with batteries, and bare tools starting at just $99. So check us out at 6701 Power Inn Road in Sacramento, or shop our Christmas deals online at fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet. Better tools, better prices.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave coming to you from a good friends at American Energy. Look, it's already cold outside. It's only going to get colder. American Energy wants to help you stay warm and make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of the $49 tune-up inspection. Normally $119, $49 right now, and that includes a full safety and duct inspection. And check it out. If your system's over 10 years old, and I'll bet it is, the tune-up, yeah, it's free. It's free from a company that's been in business since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ Better Business Bureau. Check their Yelp, check their Google reviews. Don't take my word for it. Give them a call right now. $50 off your first recommended repair. If you need a new furnace, half off the price of a new unit. Check them out at theaeway.com and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Yeah, the Kings and the Denver Nuggets tonight. No Kevin Huerter tonight. He's out with that AC joint sprain of his the same shoulder he injured last year. And Keegan Murray questionable with left ankle soreness, which, as I mentioned earlier, came as a surprise to a lot of people, including Kyle Draper, who was at practice yesterday and didn't notice Keegan dealing with any left ankle soreness.
Microphone here. Yeah, I didn't notice anything, but he came up, today. It sounds like, a late add to the injury report. And so Mike Brown will be speaking in about 13 minutes. We got to find out a way to make sure we deliver the news as it happens here. You know, as soon as Mike says something, we could pass that along to somebody.
Yes. So hopefully we can, we'll have time to pass that along. If not, hey, you know, game night's going to have it.
Yeah, game
Scott
night.
Marsh
Yep,
and
yep.
High Flyer. Interestingly, here I'm looking at ESPN.com. Top headlines, ESPN.com. One, source: Chiefs Mahomes has high ankle sprain. Okay.
Yeah.
Second story: Lions lose running back Montgomery, DT
Big time,
for season.
Yeah.
Third, sources: Sugano agreed to 1 year, $13 million deal.
Okay.
And the fourth headline at ESPN: Sacramento State met with Vic on coaching job.
That's big news.
Yes,
and
the
that's
nation's eyes
ESPN,
are
right?
upon
Yeah.
Sacramento today.
This is big time news, and we'll see if it comes to fruition. But you know, we're already seeing the Vic effect, right?
Yeah,
like think about that.
Like
yeah,
that.
it's already seeing the Vic effect out there because he's on the front page of ESPN. You got Adam Schefter tweeting about it, Pro Football Talk tweeting about it, and so yeah, it's raising the profile already of the
Dr. Luke Wood on X. Vic has expressed interest in the position. And yes, I did meet with him about his interest in Sac State football and our athletic rise. As you can imagine, given the success of our athletic programs, that our football head coach job is an attractive role. Announcements on several decisions coming soon. So you said something really interesting earlier about something like this being kind of floated out there as a trial balloon. I'm not sure how exactly that would work, but it would make sense in the case of a guy like Mike Vick,
right,
who has, you know, a checkered past. I think that's fair to say that an institution like Sac State might want to say, well, I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but it would make sense if they would want to float something like that and see how people react.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and it's been a while. You know, we talk about that checkered past, the dog fighting ring. I think that was in 2007 when that was, you know, a hot topic and unfolding. It's been 17 years since then. But no, you're right. I mean, Michael Vick has that checkered past, and you know, especially if you're a university like Sac State, or you know, you're huge in the community. You know, you're a leader in the community. You want to send the right message too, and so you know, it wouldn't be shocking if it was a little, you know, throw it out there, see the public reaction, and then, you know, pull it back if you need to.
Yeah. Years ago, I think it was the year after Barry Bonds retired, might have been 2 years after, there was a report that Arizona was interested in him.
Ooh.
And Arizona Diamondback fans, a lot of them reacted negatively, and there were threats of canceling season tickets, and it never happened. And I know someone who was with the team said, oh yeah, they were going to do it, but they just wanted to see how people would take it. They floated it out there and people said no, and it's like, well,
and then they pulled it back.
We're not going to
we're not doing that.
I don't know who said that. Right.
Right. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense to do that, especially with somebody like Vic. With that being said, you know, talking to, you know, Joe Davidson, like other big names are interested too. Like that's what excites me. The Michael Vick thing, great, fine. But I'm intrigued by these other potential names.
Yeah.
Former Heisman Trophy winners.
It's incredible how far Sac State has come even now. And I know that there's a lot of things that they have planned that they haven't even begin to accomplish yet. But still, to get to the point where now we're talking about, oh, Mike Vick is interested. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, as for tonight, the Kings, Drapes, what's your plan? What's your plan here? If you got no Keegan, hopefully you do. If you have no Herder, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, I'm definitely going to lean a little bit on Dougie McBuckets and Jay Crowder. I think, you know, I look at the next two, you know, outside threats. I mean, Keon's obviously out there as well, you know, but I look at those two guys as floor spacers, guys that can catch and shoot and knock down shots, especially when you look at Doug McDermott. You can't sag off him, really. You can't dare him to shoot because he'll knock it down. Last time he was in this building, 6 threes. And so, you know, this is an opportunity for some other guys. You know, as of now, Keegan's still listed as questionable. I will say, Whitey, I have not seen him out here warming up. Did you see?
No, I did not.
Usually he's one of the early guys. Closely,
but I did not see him.
Yeah, so I
saw Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, usually he's one of the early guys. So we'll keep an eye on that. But if he doesn't go, and we've seen Mike in the past, whether it's Jay Crowder getting a start, Doug McDermott started before too.
Yeah,
I
know.
And so it's going to be all hands on deck. I think, you probably need some more shooting though. With those two guys out, you need guys that can knock down shots.
Doug McDermott has a tough job, doesn't he? And I know he's getting a lot of money.
Right,
he's playing basketball. I get all that. But what I mean is, if he comes in, if he doesn't hit one of his first 3 shots, it's like, okay, sit down, right? I mean, it's not fair, but isn't that where it is with him?
Well, I think with him too, you could feel it from the crowd.
Yeah.
Anytime he raises up, it's, and then it's like, darn, he missed. And so, I mean, he's out there to be a shooter.
Yeah.
He's out there to knock down shots, and, we'll see if he can compete in some of the other areas, but that's his MO, a dead-eye shooter. And so 40% guy for his career, I think it is. And, I wonder too, starting versus coming off the bench, let's say. If you're starting, you got a couple minutes to ease your way into the game. You got De'Aaron taking some shots, DeMar. When you're coming off the bench, you got to make an immediate impact in the game. You don't get 5 minutes to warm up and ease your way
why
into
am I
the
putting
game.
you out there?
Right. Exactly. So I want to see, what role some of these guys, especially with Kevin and quite possibly Keegan out tonight, how Mike shuffles things up.
All right, Drapes, tell me if I'm wrong here. I feel like the Kings are becoming something other than what we thought they'd be. And I don't think it's necessarily bad at all. But they are 24th in 3-point field goals attempted, which we know is lower than they've been.
Yep.
They are 16th in pace.
Yeah.
So that's like mid-pack in pace. In passes, it's funny because you mentioned the passing stat today, and I had looked it up too. In 2023, the 22-23 season, the Kings were 4th. Last season, they were 2nd in just total passes. This year, they are 13th in the league. So more ISO, fewer passes being made. I think that's one reason why their defense perhaps has been statistically better. But to me, they are a team that looks to run. But if they don't run, they're more deliberate in the half court, which helps them take care of the ball, helps them take pressure off the defense. I feel like they're trending towards being more of a slower pace team. But of late, when they've been playing better, they look more like the old Kings.
That's what I'm saying, Whitey. And what was the passing ranking?
For the year, overall, they're 13th.
When you look at the Kings and talk to, the players and coaches, they want that ball moving.
Yeah.
They don't want to be 13th in passing.
You said I think you had the last 5 games, whatever.
We're 6th in passing.
Way up.
Way, 15, 16 more passes per game. Yeah, and I think that's more of who they want to be. I also believe they'd love to get up more 3-pointers. I don't think it's a slow, methodical, like that. We look at it, and their pace hasn't been, even over the last 5, their pace has been middle of the pack. But the ball is moving a lot more, and so, when you look at pace, Whitey, it's not always about pace is basically how quick you get up the shot.
Right.
Like I need to look at the Celtics. Like the Celtics are more surgical with their pace. They're going to execute and work the ball around to get the shot they want. And I wonder if that's, how the Kings want to play too.
Yeah.
Where it's not about, all right, just, take the first shot that's there necessarily, but you know what, we're going to surgically pick you apart because that's what's happening over the last 5 games. They're taking, making a good pass, a good shot into a great shot and really got that ball in a string. I think, when you look at the passing numbers, that's where they want to be. And, Mike has always talked too about letting it fly and everything like that. No hesitation. I haven't seen that the last few games. I haven't seen the hesitation.
Yeah.
The guys gun shy or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, I like the idea of being more deliberate in the half court, whatever you need to do to get a good shot. You want to join us?
High flyer coming early tonight.
Yeah. Not really.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's a little late for you. Usually you hear super early.
Yeah.
What's up with you? You got your winter outfit on, huh, bro? He got the winter outfit on. It's cold out there, that hawk.
Bruh.
New sweatshirt. I see you.
Hey, let me tell you.
Is that new?
Of course.
All right.
Hey, I'm not an East Coast dude. Now, Katie, this is something that you probably could weigh on a whole lot better than me. but boy, it ain't California cold outside.
Man, it's killing me this weather, man. I had a fence fall down.
Oh no!
Yeah, a fence blew down on the side of the house. Yeah, got to get that fixed. That went. My Christmas decorations, my little penguin out front.
Oh no, not the
tipped
penguin.
over. Yeah.
Does penguin have a name?
Yes, Penny the penguin.
You know what?
No, see, I still got little ones.
Hey, I was about to say he got kids. I understand.
Right.
I understand. I understand.
Down goes Penny.
Yeah.
Really? No, Penny. No, dog. Get up. Kick your leg. Penny.
Poor girl.
We were just talking about how the Kings, they're trending pace-wise. They're slowing it down more this year. But of late, they've been pushing the pace. We're trying to figure out what's actually better for this team. Because to me, there's nothing wrong with taking your time in the half court if you're getting good shots.
Well, here's the deal. The way I see it, I honestly think that they have to pick and choose because the slow down offense probably, helps out maybe 1-2 guys, maybe 3.
Take some
2.5.
pressure off your defense too, right? It can.
Yes,
it can.
Yes, but then too, we want this team to really be able to get steals, get deflections, and get out in transition. That's when this team is at its best. Now, when you do have to elect to take the ball out of the net and bring the ball up, I think that's 1 or 2 things should happen. You should either be running the high pick and roll with Malik and Sabonis because that works almost every time they run it, or it's Debo time. When you slow down, it's 1 or 2 things that should happen. And those are the plays you run. Any other time, you up and down, you help the skelter, you push in the basketball.
Right. You push it. If it's not there and you got to pull it out, you want to get a good shot, however long it takes.
Yes.
Yeah. What are you doing tonight if you don't have Herter, might not have Keegan? What would you do lineup-wise?
Ooh, that you know what? It puts a dent in your three-point shooting. I know that.
Yeah.
Lineup-wise, who starts for Keegan, man?
I got just Kings just put it out. Injury update. Keegan Murray, left ankle out. Out tonight.
Okay, so he's out and Herter's out.
Yes.
All right. So we still got Monk, Fox,
Jay Crowder back in the starting lineup. That's what Kyle was
saying.
thinking.
Crowder or Dougie McBuckets, or what do you think?
You know what though? McBuckets might get the call, man. Seeing that he came in and had a little spark.
Yeah.
He might get the call. Isaac Jones, do we deserve to start?
No.
Him and Sabonis?
Yeah. Isaac Jones and Sabonis. I mean, here's the problem. Whoever it is got to stay in front of Aaron Gordon.
Right.
Okay. That's the thing.
That's why I lean towards my boy Jay Crowder. That's why I lean towards Jay. A little bit more muscle, a little bit more girth,
a little bit more basketball IQ, defensive savvy.
Yeah.
Not going to back down for anybody.
Right.
Now, he's not going to meet Aaron at the rim. Not at all.
Right.
But he might meet him before he gets to the rim. That will be the smart thing to do.
Yeah. Remember, they had him on Julius Randle, Minnesota, wrestling with him.
Yeah.
So I can see him playing.
He won't ever back down from anybody. I'll give you that. So, but the cool thing is they got options. You're not saying, oh, my God, how are we going to refill him?
Right.
Because think about it. If Keegan Murray's name was Domantas Sabonis, we'll be sitting here going, oh, my God, who are we going to put here for this too?
Yeah.
What do you like the best about the way they've been playing lately, other than obviously they're winning? What do you see them doing differently that they need to repeat?
You know what? They haven't been doing anything differently, Whitey. I mean, besides the Utah game, they still not shooting the basketball particularly well. Okay, Utah and Houston, they shot the ball lights out. But we're still not shooting the basketball the way we think this team can shoot. The one thing that I like is that you still manufacturing wins. You're still figuring out how to win games. So if the offense click on one week, you're going to be a monster. But understanding that every night you might not have the offense, seeing that the Kings haven't, think about it. We've only had the offense that we think this team can produce, 2, 3, 3.5 games?
Yeah.
And we still manifested to have, double digits in wins. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy that they're finding a way.
I like the way they're taking care of the ball. I think they're doing a real good job.
Yeah, not turning
limited turnovers.
You know what? I had no idea Malik Monk was going to be so efficient with the ball. Now, I knew he could facilitate. I knew he can get to the rim. I know he can relieve pressure off a lot of players. I didn't know he was that efficient with not turning the basketball.
Oh, yeah, he's been taking care of the ball.
He's been doing a masterful job at running the team. And I honestly think, fellas, that takes a lot of weight off of De'Aaron.
Yeah.
It takes a lot off Debo. It takes a lot off. Come on, man. If you're Sabonis, you like, Mike, you should have been starting him because he helps me get easy buckets.
Right.
Come on. That high pick and roll, bro.
Domas did say the other day, it's about time.
Man, it's
jokingly, of course. But yeah.
He wasn't joking. He was dead.
No,
I don't know if he's joking.
He laughed, though. I'm throwing him a bone there.
Hey, you can laugh all you want to, but he was DA serious.
Let me ask you this, though, because to your point about the last game, they played the Pelicans.
Right.
They shot below 40% high
Right.
flyer.
Mhm.
Wasn't an offensively pleasing game, but yet they found a way to win. I was more impressed by that than score 141 against Utah.
Yeah, I heard you say that. And you know, I was okay with it. I was okay with it. You know, but you know me, by any means necessary.
Okay.
However you can pull out a W. The one thing that still bothered me is that they let CJ get going.
Yeah, that was.
You let
He was shooting
CJ
out
get going.
He was shooting from Baton Rouge.
Whitey, he was. But the thing about it was only CJ.
Yeah.
So when you got a guy that's doing that, you got to get the ball out of his hands. I don't care what you do. Double team him. Make Murphy beat you.
Mm-hmm.
Make anybody beat you but a dude named CJ who used to hang out with a guy named Dame Lil, and they used to make everybody suffer from right over the half-court line. Know your personnel.
Mm-hmm.
Know your personnel, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So you're going Crowder tonight, you think you would?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm leaning that way.
Or are you still thinking Isaac Jones?
No. I asked you guys,
Yeah.
does Isaac Jones deserve the start? You know what? And I'm going to tell you this. For a rookie and what he has done for this team, I think he has definitely set a presence for himself.
Isaac Jones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think he has set a presence for himself. I don't think he's a G League player. I do think that he can give you real, substantial minutes. I mean, I'm looking at a guy right now for Denver. I'm looking at DeAndre Jordan. If DeAndre Jordan can stay in this league and still be on a basketball team, Isaac Jones can too.
Sometimes it takes a lot longer for a player to establish that than it has Isaac Jones, right? Sometimes it takes into your second season or more before you really establish that you belong. And I think he's already done it.
And you know what the good thing is when you're playing for a team like Sacramento, especially for Isaac Jones, we're struggling. At that time, we were struggling at a couple of positions.
Mm-hmm.
So it was doors open for a couple of people. So if you're one of those guys that's on the bubble, it gives you a chance because the coaches are taking a longer look. I mean, back when I played, Saint wasn't taking no look no further than Mitch Richmond.
That was it.
that was it. I don't care what you did. He wasn't looking past Mitch. So
that door wasn't really open for you.
Bro, the door wasn't even cracked. It was like, we're going to slide this up under the door. That's how you eat.
Oh, they slid it under the door?
Yeah, KD, they slid it up under the door.
Man.
This right here is what you eat. Mitch got the rest.
Oh, man. What's at stake here these next 5? All at home, 2 against Lakers. You got Indiana. What do you think?
KD, we can right or wrong here. Out of all the misfortune we had, we're back to 500. And I said it as soon as we won this game. I said, this resets the clock, fellas. You're 500. 500 is doable. I don't care where you are. And we're still relatively early in the season. You reset the clock at 500. You got what, 8 at home?
Yeah,
we
what, 8 out of
9?
9 at home?
Yeah, and you only go to LA and Golden State and back.
Yeah.
You got 8 out of 9 at home. You can right the ship. Think about this. Out of those 8, let's say if we can get on the heater and get 6. Where are we at right now? Right where you're supposed to be.
Yeah. Also, you need a win tonight to get back to 500 on your home floor. They're 6-7 at home.
You know what? That's a whole nother conversation right there. About G1 dominance.
Yeah.
This team for the last 2-3 years has always played particularly better on the road than they have in their home building.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If we can ever start solidifying home court, then we're a different basketball team. But I'll tell you what, I'm like this. I don't care how you get the wins, as long as you get them. And, if you struggle at home a little bit, but you Herculean on the road, okay, that evens out for me. But at the end of the day, like I said, I honestly think this team has a chance, once again, to right the ship. You can get right back to where you think you should be, whether it's 4, 5, 6. You can get there. It's definitely obtainable from here on out if you take care of business and play the way you're supposed to play.
Do you think what we've seen in these last 5 games gives you more optimism that, you know what, this team can make a run, top 6, you know, what we've seen in these last 5 games?
I think you still need to make a move.
Dang.
But
make a move.
Well, we know that.
No.
But let's say as presently constructed.
I just said just make a move because he said it. Make a move. It would have to be the right.
They're only a game and a half out of 5 right now.
And like I said, I'm not pressed. We can still, run what we got. But I'm thinking about make a move. A move is going to have to be the right move. You just can't make a move just to say, we made a move.
I don't want Brandon Ingram or anything big like that. It's just somebody who's going to come in and help fortify that rotation.
You know what? I'm with that. If you can find that out there, I'm with it. But I'll tell you what, if this basketball team can just shoot the basketball a little bit better than what they're doing, I'm with KD. You can run what you got. If Trey Lyles can come back healthy and give us something of what he did those first couple of years, get back in shape, start knocking down that shot, we can run back what we got.
This would be a massive win tonight, wouldn't it, Kyle?
This would be huge.
Denver
Massive.
short-handed.
Yeah, big.
Man, I'm looking at real quick, guys. Somebody just posted this. Points off spot-up threes differential per game. Celtics are getting 10.2 more points per game on spot-up threes. Kings are giving up 9.6 more points on spot because teams are shooting, knocking down so many threes. That's a massive amount just on spot-up threes.
Here's the thing. When you start tracking spot-up threes, in order for you to get a spot-up 3, what do you have to have? You either have to have a dominant low-post game to where you kick it in and they kick it back out for 3.
Yep.
Or you got to have some guys on the outside who can really break catch down and get to the basket.
Spray it out, baby.
Spray it out.
Spray those threes.
If you don't have neither one of those two, spot-up threes are going to be at a minimum.
It's going to be hard to come by.
I mean, it's easy to say, we need sprays. If you ain't got nobody who can break somebody down and get into the rim, sprays are going to be at a minimum.
Kyle Draper on the call tonight.
Yeah.
TV-wise.
Big seat.
Exactly. We need a win, big fella.
Yeah, we do.
We need a win. I'm in the big chair.
Yeah, stick around because the High Flyer and Scott Marsh have game night for you next as we get ready